And here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. Glad you could join us once again. Topic of discussion: Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk 2, the rematch in Saudi Arabia, and all the rest of it. So let's get into this. But before I do get into this, just a little bit of housekeeping. Now, a few of you like to come up in the comment section, trying to be smart, come up with bright ideas, comments, and trying to be clever. Huh? I want to talk to a few of you and address this with you. When I do breakdowns of videos, and this is for the minority, not the majority, when I do breakdowns of videos, I give you the scenario of a person that can win and a scenario of a person that can lose. In a fight, I will also I will give a breakdown of what it takes for each fighter to win and what I think will happen if each fighter if one fighter follows the game plan and the other fighter doesn't follow the game plan. So I will say, this person will win. And then I will say, if they do X, Y, and Z. So I may say, David Haye will win the fight if he keeps on the outside of a fight, if he keeps on the outside, uses his speed and dips in and out, throwing big punches, but doesn't stand in trade with another big puncher. That might be something I'd say. David Haye will win if he does this. But if David Haye decides to sit in the pocket with a guy who's a better inside fighter, i.e. a Riddick Bowe, if Haye decides to sit on the inside, a fight on the inside with Riddick Bowe, if Bowe's a better inside fighter, then Haye won't win that fight. But it seems to me that people watch the breakdown videos and then come back afterwards and say, yeah, but you said that person's going to win. I say that person will win if they do X, Y, and Z. So the next time you come in the comment section and you say, I thought you said he was going to win, please listen to my breakdown and then give me the credit afterwards when I've said, this is what will happen if they're to win, and this is what will happen if they lose. For example, the other day, Joe Smith Jr. fought against Bertabiev. And I said, if Joe Smith comes straight through the front door, right? If he comes in straight lines, doesn't move his head, and tries to back Bertabiev off, Bertabiev, I can never get the guy's pronunciation name going right. Back him up, straight back him up, tries to go to war with him, he's going to get knocked out. Quick, fast, he'll get knocked out. I said it. That's what happened. And I like Joe Smith. Okay, he went straight for the front door. Had no game plan. Went straight forward, trying to bomb with extremely big puncher. Dangerous. And I said if he had no respect for his punching power, he was going to get himself knocked out. And what did we see? He got spectacularly knocked out. In the AJ fight, I said, if AJ decides to box against Usyk, he's going to get beat by Usyk. Well, that's what happened. I said, if AJ goes out there, uses physical strength, his physicality, and he goes to Usyk's body, and he takes the attack to Usyk in a strategic manner, then he'll win. But I said, I did not like AJ's body language. I did not like the way AJ was being like a tourist guide to Usyk. I did not like the way AJ was taking photographs of Usyk. I did not like the way that AJ was being so hospitable to Alexander Usyk. I did not like it. I did not like the way he came to the ring like some superstar, you know, and he was fighting the biggest fight of his career. I did not like any of that. And I said it in the build-up to the fight. So AJ went completely against all the things that I thought he should have done and got beaten to it. Beaten bad. Huh? So I don't want anyone to tell me, oh, well, you said AJ was going to destroy Usyk. Yeah, well, I didn't say Usyk. I never said to you AJ was a better boxer. I never told you that AJ could outthink Usyk or outmaneuver Usyk. I never said that. I was very realistic about what AJ could do or what he couldn't do. So this is what it is. People that want to listen and they want to create their own, they want to create their own agendas and fight. Now, the agenda for this evening. You see, people may say, oh, I'm making this all up. But let me share something with you for once. I'll share something with you so you can see what I'm talking about here. You say, yeah, well, he's making it up. Well, I'm not making this up. You'll see it for yourself. Let me get it up on Twitter. Right. See that? Can you see that picture? See that picture there? Can you see it? That's Alexander Usyk taking a picture of Anthony Joshua. And to a lot of people, they think, well, that doesn't mean anything. You know, it's just Usyk taking a picture of Anthony Joshua. Right. Okay, let me ask you this question. We've been here before, haven't we, boxing fans? Have we not been here before? Have we not been here before? Has that picture not looked familiar to you? Have you said, maybe I'm overthinking, I'm overlooking things? Let me show you something. Usyk is the unified heavyweight champion of the world, right? When AJ was the heavyweight champion of the world, he took a picture of Usyk. He took pictures with Usyk. And I said to you then, that weren't right. Mike Tyson and Frank Bruno were good friends. Could you ever see the heavyweight champion of the world, Mike Tyson, standing with a photo like that with Alexander Usyk? Would Mike do that? Would Mike give his belts up and say, hey, touch my belts? Again, look at this picture. I really have a problem with it. People say, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. I have a problem with it because we've been here before. We've been here before, boxing fans. We've been here before. And we're here again. You're meant to be an intimidating force. You're meant to be a guy that is, hungry and determined to be heavyweight champion of the world. We'll stand there taking a picture of Alexander Usyk, the heavyweight champion of the world. Look where his arm is. Look where he's standing. Look, he's got Anthony just gets 2 hands up. Look at this guy. What the hell is this? What is that? What crap is? I mean, sorry. I personally speaking, couldn't do it. That might not mean anything. That might not mean anything, but to me it means a lot because we've been here before. We've been here before, right? And I wouldn't want anything to look as if it looked before. I wouldn't anything like that to look the way. Because to me, I want to give you another. I want to show you something else as well. It happened at the when they did the face-off. AJ and Usyk were looking at one another. Usyk held his stare with AJ, and AJ looked away. But if you watch carefully, go back and look at that face-off again. AJ's trying to tell the champ what to do. I think he thought he was still the champion. So he's looking at Usyk to try and sort of intimidate him. And then he does this. He does this. And Usyk's still looking at him. Well, who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are? Wait, I'm the champion. I will turn when I feel like turning. And if I want to look at you for the next 3 minutes, I'm going to look at you for the next 3 minutes. Look you dead in the eye and let you know you ain't running a thing. Like he's the cameraman. Like he's the boss. He's the landlord. And Lucy says, look, who are you? And Lucy says, look at him. And he's like, I've just been on the battlefield. My wife has been harassed by the Russians. My house has been broken into. I've had to move. After my house was broken into, I've had to move my family to a secure location, which I thought was secure before. It wasn't secure. So I had to move my family out after we broken into. I've had to be on the war field. I prepared for war, fight for my country. Not defend the heavyweight championship of the world. Fight for my country. I might not see my kids. I might not see my family again, because I'm going to war against the people that I've caused no harm to. And they're going to come and cause harm to my family, to my friends. And I'm training for war. I don't mean bogus war, matchroom, fake war, fake beef, Poundland beef, Poundland war. I'm talking about real war that's ongoing at the moment. So for me to give up me fighting at war, to come and fight you who are beat up already, and should have knocked out. You are going to stand in front of me. You who's at the comfort of staying at home and picking and choosing which trainer you're going to have. When everybody knew Robert Garcia was your trainer from time when we heard about Robert Kraken being getting the sack. Robert Garcia was the head coach from way back then. And I announced it. So, so I've come to Saudi Arabia to defend my belts, yeah? I've already gone out there to defend my honor for my country. I've come to Saudi Arabia for you wearing headphones. What are you listening to? Another motivational speech? Huh? And you, the guy I beat up and take the titles off, you are going to tell me, who the hell are you? Man, I made them whoop your ass hard the first time round. I need to whoop you even more this time round. So people don't quite get this, but when you're thinking about a man like that from Usyk's perspective and where he's coming from, you must think this is a joke. You must think this is a joke. And you're falling for the same traps again. You're taking a photograph of Usyk. You then let Usyk embarrass you on stage, wouldn't you? And Usyk just looked at you. And people may not look at that as much, but that's Usyk looking at you and telling you, who are you? You don't get it. I'm looking straight through you. I'm going to destroy you. I'm a man of few words. Good evening, evening. Rinse and repeat, Ingram. I wonder. I do wonder. The only thing that makes me very uncomfortable about all this is the DAZN new deal with Anthony Joshua. There's so much money on the table. So much money on the table from DAZN in this new Joshua deal. If Joshua is to lose, that's a lot of investment in a guy that didn't win the first fight, that's going into rematch, and you're sure is going to win. The only thing I'm concerned is that DAZN deal. It says here, Ingram, they've dragged him out of war in order to gain advantage to win the belts back. Typical matchroom job. Shooing. Well, they might think they're smart. But Usyk may have played the trick again on them, where there were stories coming out where Usyk wasn't fit, he was injured. All this time, Usyk was probably training. How long has he been in training camp for? Who knows? So this video really wasn't about the press conference. To me, there were just two key things: that picture and that move. Those two things already did not bode well in my spirit. Let's just hope. It's a press conference Wednesday, right? Press conference was today in England, right? Let's show that. He says, knock. gonna lie. If AJ was my son, I'd beat the shit out of him. Another selfie. Oh, dear me. Because AJ, I think AJ has 6 rounds in him. Alpha Leather as out, then KO'd. Because it's a tactic used by Matchroom. Same Povetkin rematch with White. Povetkin had COVID, okay? Hold dead in the ring. You should laugh. Wait, let me just show you this picture again. I'm sorry. I just, for me, this picture, I'm like, just look at the picture again. I mean, I would not, me personally, I would say get that picture down now. Like, let me share that picture of you again. Look at this. Right? Look at this picture again. I mean, really? Honestly? Are we serious? Look at the picture. That's the sort of picture you take here. That is the sort of picture you take. Like, if you meet, like, if it's a fan that comes up to you and goes, AJ, resume, AJ. Like, those people who go to the darts, right? And AJ turns up to do for a special appearance. That's the sort of picture you take for a special appearance. 2 fists up into the camera. Like, really? People might think I'm taking a piss or think that I'm looking too deep into it. But I'm sorry. A picture like that should never be seen again. Ever. That's the last picture we'll see of AJ at the top table. don't say that. AJ talks like a scripted speech, just no real emotion behind it. No. I mean, AJ is a winner. Well, as far as I'm concerned, he's a winner regardless. If Usyk beats the crap out of him again, he's still got a good deal with DAZN. Yeah? If he gets beat the crap out of by Usyk, he's still got DAZN. I don't know, like, what the contingency plan will be if Usyk were to beat him again. But that's the only thing that makes me uncomfortable, really, if I'm honestly speaking. Right. I'm sorry, but someone has to tell me what's special about Robert Garcia. He's AJ's trainer. If AJ's picked him, then he's got to be good. I'm not saying it, but I'm just showing you this picture, and I don't like it. I do not like it. I mean, who's watching DAZN, Ingram? That's the thing. Eddie seems to convince a lot of people that a lot of people are watching DAZN, right? But I don't know. I don't like that picture. I mean, are you telling me that guy is intimidating? That picture there's that guy intimidating. That's the guy that Usyk's going to put in his phone. What is Usyk, after Usyk takes that picture of AJ, what is Usyk thinking in his head? That's the guy that thinks he can beat me. That's the guy that thinks he can beat me. That should be Bashir in there. At least he would have. Camera off. Sorry, get my camera back on. There we go. There we go. At least he would have someone to blame if it didn't win. Ex-trainer for Usyk and still couldn't win, etc., etc. You know, yeah, absolutely. But this, let me tell you, I mean, AJ versus damn money is based on delivery. He's not going to get that kind of money with losses, no fans, etc. I agree with you there, Tyler. That's why I think I'll tell you a story. I was on the train. Where was I? I was going home, and I was on the train and I was on the train from, was it Victoria or Gatwick Airport? I think I got on at Gatwick Airport while I was going home because I live in Sussex or Worthing, and I got on the train, and I sat next to a guy who was wearing DAZN or Dead Zone, having a look at it. So I sat next to this guy. He looked me dead in the eye, and I had this real creepy inner sickness when I spoke to this guy. Guy looked me dead in the eye and said, "We will do whatever is necessary to win back those titles. AJ will be champion again, believe me." And the guy looked me in the eye, and he was quite happy in this zone. He was one of them top guys. And he knew for certain, dead certain, that AJ was going to become champion again, without a shadow of doubt. And it's them people again that can negotiate for AJ for this fight with Usyk. Usyk can say to him, "This is as close as it gets to me." DAZN. I'd love to know why he didn't go with Bashir for this fight. We all want to know. Something doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, plenty don't make sense. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to know. Forget this. This picture just makes me more sick. I'm looking. The more I look at it, the more sick I feel. Let me just turn this picture off, right? But what I want to know now, right? I want to know who they're going to bring in for sparring for this Usyk rematch. I want to know who they're bringing in for sparring. So much about the press conference. AJ looked the same AJ. So the press conference, he's like this. And you got Eddie Hearn in the background. "Good afternoon and welcome to DAZN and welcome to this press conference. AJ's up for this fight." And you look at AJ. AJ's up for this fight. AJ's biggest fight, his toughest test of his career. How do you feel, AJ? I'm like, this guy does the same thing at every press conference. Every press conference. You watch him, he's like this. I'm like, what are you looking at? Are you into the zone? Or what are you doing? What are you thinking? You know, damn headphones. I mean, a guy like that, I'm not being funny, a guy like that, former heavyweight champion, there's a sort of aura you should have about him. You know, you look at Foreman, you look at Tyson. Even Lennox had a sort of aura about him when he came to the ring for Vitaly Klitschko. Vladimir had something about him. But this dude has got no intimidation about him. This dude, as soon as he's a small guy, he seems to run for the trees. I don't understand it. I'm sure they've rigged the shit out of this fight. Wouldn't be surprised if he showed it with loaded gloves. They've already got an advantage dragging a man out of war. That's what happened. You don't see Lomachenko doing it. Tactic. Yeah, but that could work two ways. You've got a man at war and he's coming to train. That could work two ways. That could work the way of where the guy's head's not in the game, or the guy's head's more screwed on. Who knows? Their Inter might be telling them, his head's screwed. He's not in it. He doesn't even want to be here. Or it could be this guy's head flipping. This guy's a madman. Bringing Dumplings to sparring up AJ's confidence, then flatten in the Sahara after real deal. Usyk is bringing in Joe Washington for sparring. It just goes to show how easy Joe Washington. It just goes to show how easy this fight's going to be. Well, the last time he brought sparring, he brought Martin Bakole in. He brought in AJ's best sparring partner, which is Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole went on and beat up Tony Yoka. So Usyk had Bakole in sparring. Angel Fernandez didn't want Bashir because he wants to play the head coach. Bashir wouldn't put up with that nonsense. Garcia settled for less to get a shot at training a heavyweight. That's what it seems like for me. That's what it sounds like for me. Less money paid out because you're working with AJ. He's the face of boxing. I'm not saying this. So just, he's the face of boxing. So when you've got AJ, you've got an event. When you've got an event with AJ, then as a trainer, you've got to pay second fiddle because AJ's paying your bills, mate. That's how it works. If it doesn't work, it's an attempt of unfair advantage. They've used everything for him to fight. The man doesn't look like to have had time to shave for 3 months. Usyk brought back Martin Bakali for his training camp. There you go. There you go. That's quality sparring he's getting right there. Martin, quality sparring. He's brought back Bakali again. You think after this fight, should they win this fight, there's a fight down the road with Tyson Fury. That is, if Tyson Fury fights Joe Joyce. There is a story going about that Joe Joyce and Tyson Fury are going to fight in October. That's another conversation for another day. Where's Usyk's head? Maybe I'm wrong. I doubt it, though. Where's his head? Well, I don't know. I could probably get my Eastern European. If AJ wins, it's bad for the future of the division. Yeah, we know that. We definitely know that. Well, not really. That's only if he doesn't fight Fury next. Don't know if he don't fight Fury next, but yeah, listen to this. Listen to this. Read this one here. After reports of him taking Russian soldiers prisoners and killing others in active combat, I doubt AJ represents a threat to him at this point. And that is what I'm saying. AJ ain't gone to no war. AJ ain't gone to no war. This is saying AJ that said he didn't want to have another fight like Klitschko again. That's what he said. Rushed him back into the ring. Nobody talks about this, though. Was he rushed back into the ring? Was he rushed back into the ring? Now, you know, when did he get clearance to fight again? He wasn't rushed back into the ring now. He was given clearance. He could have stayed in war, right? But he was given clearance. The fight's not until August. People say it's 30 days more for Joshua to prepare with Garcia. That's 30 days more for Usyk to get his head right. Maybe AJ wanted a younger trainer, not an old man. Garcia probably gets along better with AJ. Well, yeah, he may get along with it, but is it about getting along? He got along with Robert McCracken, didn't he? He got along with brilliant AJ, and he says flicking back at this, brilliant AJ. So I don't want to see Joshua go on tour of Asia fight, Zing Zang, Bang Slang, and Australia's very own Dempsey McKean. Oh my God. Of course he was. Omacheka's still in war. I still give the edge to Usyk in the rematch. Do you see how Usyk bladed him by turning to the side in the face-off? It's a military tactic used in Eastern Europe to size up and psych out an enemy. Aha! Aha! Is it me or AJ sound like he's running for presidency when he speaks? That's that 265, 123 management. That's what that is. That's that 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 6 management. That's where that crap is coming from. So do you believe this is an attempt? They're training everything to gain advantage, bro. Well, it might be, but they've got to throw the kitchen sink. They've got to try all they can. Or offer Usyk a bucket load of money. So look, just give the belts up. You get another shot another time. But AJ, we've invested in. I was thinking the same. They definitely sent AJ to Asia because the DAZN is huge in Asia. That's how they will recoup a lot of money. Maybe he won't be affected. Robert is a good trainer to teach AJ the Mexican pressure tactics that break flashy boxers. AJ doesn't need help on defense. He needs better offense and pressure tactics. I would disagree. I will say AJ needs defense, because he can't fight going backwards. Watch, if you go back and look at even that 12th round, when Usyk stuck it on him and he put the left hand on him, he pushed AJ back. AJ just put stand up. You watch the Andy Ruiz back fight. Anytime you push AJ back, you push him back, he puts his hands up and retreats. He fights just like Callum Smith. They were right on the front foot. Once you push these guys back and put pressure on them, they don't know how to fight. These guys can't fight off the back foot. It's all front foot bully. Put them on the back foot, can't fight. I think AJ will using the RGBA training, will try and come out the first round like he was shot out of a cannon. Very dangerous strategy. I think so too. He's going to come out like a bull. He'll come out like a bull. Even if you don't get countered with something, keep saying that. AJ needs to duck at Usyk. That's the best defense he can have. AJ gets gassed out trying to fight Mexican style even quicker. Start talking rubbish, mate. Rubbish. AJ can't write Mexican style. AJ fighting Mexican style. That's like Mike Tyson trying to fight like Muhammad Ali. That's like getting... Oh my God. That's like getting that's like trying to get Joe Joyce to flop like a butterfly and sting like a bee. It's not happening. Hey Ingram, that same type of headphones has same type of headphones as me. Great minds think alike. Oh, you like the headphones? Thank you very much. I've had them a while now. They're the gaming headphones, but I love them. They're pretty good. Tasty, nice. Flipping Mexican style cheese. I think Garcia is there for morale boost more than anything. If you need Robert Garcia to be boosting you, you may as well get Virgil Hunter in as well. AJ fighting Mexican style is like Marvin Hagler shoulder rolls. I don't know. This might all work out well for AJ, and I don't want to come across as a hater because there are a lot of people that hate me. A lot of people that hate AJ. You know what I mean? A lot of people hate AJ. Well, look, that's what it is. You know what I mean? AJ needs to turn it into a rough and physical fight. 3 months isn't enough to turn him into a defensive wizard. Next British boxing Olympics with pressure tactics. Yeah. What about his chin? What about that chin of his? You forget about AJ's chin. And everyone's talking about going to AJ going to Usyk's body. AJ's body's not great either. AJ's durability is not one. He's not noted for durability. He's not noted for when you hit him on the chin, him laughing it off. He's not one of them type of guys. If you hit AJ and you hurt him, he lets you know you've hurt him. That's not going to change. Why is AJ taking selfies? Same trap Ruiz did to him. There you go. Bro, it's not the same trap Ruiz did to him. It's the same trap Usyk did to him as well. AJ is going to get them Canelo judges on his side. DAZN has put the money up. No way they're going to allow AJ to lose. All they need is AJ to survive 12 rounds and they can take care of the rest. That's what I'm saying. Robert Garcia will work on improvements to AJ's confidence. Combination punch, but Robert Garcia can't teach defensive responsibility. It's not part of his philosophy. That's what I said it isn't. And it's AJ's defense which is the problem. Matchroom have their plans for this one, boys. Of course they've got their plans. DAZN have got their plans. I can't no longer look at things with blind eyes. I know AJ signed a contract to DAZN. So there's 100 million plus we're talking about. So I'm not having rabbit in the headlights, and I'm not going to talk about the elephant in the room. As long as Usyk understands that 100 million deal is to favor AJ, because they know they can make more money with AJ than they can Usyk. In theory, because they can make that money with the fight against Tyson Fury. But I think that boat has sailed, because the money they should have made was with AJ versus Wilder. That's what I think. AJ's chin isn't that bad. He took bombs from Klitschko, Povetkin, and White. Yeah. He also took bombs from Ruiz, and we knew how that worked out. He took bombs from Klitschko and got dropped. He took bombs from an injured Dillian White. Yep. He took bombs from Usyk, who wasn't really looking for the knockout. But let's see if he takes bombs this time with the new style that has been brought to him. Robert Garcia taught Cotto excellent defense while being able to... Are you comparing Miguel Cotto to Anthony Joshua? Are you comparing a welterweight, stroke light middleweight, heavy middleweight, to Anthony Joshua, who Cotto had an excellent chin and very good boxer? Are you comparing Miguel Cotto to Anthony Joshua? I can't even believe you've even made that comparison. If you're going to compare heavyweight for heavyweight, right? Don't compare welterweight with heavyweight, because that's two totally different divisions and two different styles of fighting. Yes, Usyk was playing mind games like the first fight, and he stared AJ down yesterday. So you're seeing it. I've talked about this earlier on. And you know what? As I was saying earlier, I know you're late, Jay Roos. And would you like to jump on? So I'd love to talk to you about this. People have started a new one now, right? Before this was the Tyson Fury channel. Now it's the James Ali Bashir channel. Do you know what? If it's the James Ali Bashir channel, I am down, please, right? Because it's 52, 53 years of boxing knowledge in their heavyweight division in boxing. So for me, I am happy to have it be the Bashir channel. It's an absolute honor. Absolute idiots. It's the Bashir channel now. Who do you have in your channel? Right, it's flying through now. Don't be surprised if Usyk messes around and hits AJ with something stupid mid-rounds and AJ can't get from him. I can see it happening. It's not a trap with the selfies. It's just that Usyk is cold. He can be nice and ping you all around the ring. Can't quite agree with you there. Known Usyk over 3 years now, or more than 3 years. That's when we was Bashir, so can't agree with you there. It's mind games with Usyk. Take a look at AJ in the first Ruiz fight during clinches. AJ look at the ref to stop inside work. He doesn't know inside work. Of course he doesn't. People talk AJ only needs to do this and that, realizing Usyk only gave 80%. I'm telling you, he's coming. You cannot compare Anthony Joshua. You cannot compare Anthony Joshua to compare Miguel Cotto. Cotto's a much better technical and defensive fighter. Thank you very much. I'm glad somebody else said that. Robert Garcia taught a B-level crook guy in Maidan how to match with a all-time great Floyd Mayweather and push him to the limit. Right. Was that the first fight or the second fight? Because the first fight, Floyd fought in one way, and the second one, he beat the shit out of him in a rematch. So I'm not quite sure what you're talking about there. Sure, bro. Right. Let me see your link. You're getting. Hear what you got to say. Be nice. Jay Rue, where are you, Jay? I'm trying to get you on the channel for why, bro? Nice to get you back. Right. Miguel Cotto has been using that T-bar boxing style since the early days. Robert Garcia did not contribute to that. T-bar goes back to Foreman, Liston, and Ezra Charles. Absolutely. Selfie means nothing, bro. Usyk is different. He'll take pictures, be nice, but in the ring he switches up. Bro, you don't need to tell me about Usyk, huh? Don't need to tell me about Usyk. People come on the channel, don't know no history of the channel, and come telling me about Usyk. Me about Usyk of all people. Can you believe it? England, they've got a spell on him already trying to win. I don't know where AJ's dad is, but he needs to sort his son out big time. I think you remember the last time we saw his dad was talking about when they were accusing AJ of using steroids. Remember that? And AJ was going shh, shh, shh to his dad. Remember that? Oh, people only say, yeah, okay, we've got that already. Put that there. Bashir has been robbed of the opportunity, in my opinion. No brains at all. I know. Is there a link? Yeah, I've just sent you a link. Send your link to your WhatsApp, bro. Bet Matchroom have bought a Usyk shaver too because they don't have time to go to barber for trim. Madonna wasn't that good. Khan gave him hell. Dropped him. There you go. Robert Garcia's record against Southpaws is terrible. I'm a bit surprised that Joshua didn't see that as a red flag. Uh-oh! Ding, ling, 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 ling. You know, I'm very calculated, I'm very cool and calculated, Everything stops with me, Oh, Lord. Good Lord. I don't think it matters who trains Joshua. It's not a technical issue with him. It's a mental problem. Not sure that he can be coached. That can be coached out of him now. I've said this for ages about AJ. It's mental. All that stuff he does now is when he gets in the locker room and come fight night and he does that ring walk, then we'll see what Robert Garcia can do. Here comes Jay Roos into the room. Ingram, they're coming out the woodwork telling you about Usyk. I know that when they come out the woodwork like that, they're not regulars on the channel. Let's look, I'm a creature specialist. Even Ingram Jones can tell you that. I'm a complete package, I'm looking at AJ, and he's brought Robert Garcia in, and you got Bashir, he's a teacher. He's a teacher in the sport, and you got Robert Garcia, he's no teacher, How many heavyweights has he trained? When you look at Robert Garcia, he's good with the small guys, but he's good with the big guys. Alex, we love you. How are you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm very good, bro. That boy called me a clown. But who's the clown now? Who's the clown now? No guy tested you.
I love the Lennox Lewis imitations.
Josh has got it all to prove. He's got it all to prove. And Usyk's a wicked fighter, but I love him even more because he bossed him up the first time, and that boy will boss him up again. That's what Lennox is fucking saying backstage.
Yeah.
I hope that boy thump him up again. Time out calling me clown. Cha.
Yeah. When he called him a clown, I was like, wow, that's kind of harsh there, buddy. That's kind of harsh words for such a great champion, man.
I know. Please do introduce people. Here's somebody saying here. Let me tell you about Usyk, Ingram, since you don't know. He wants to tell me about Usyk. Please do tell us.
He's going to drop some.
This guy wants to tell me about Usyk.
Oh, okay. He's got some inside information.
Please do give us some inside information. More inside. Give us some inside information about OLEKSANDR Usyk, my friend.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it. AJ has avenged his bad losses in the past in White and Ruiz, so it's possible that AJ wins. Yes, it is possible he wins. But Ruiz, look, my biggest problem is this. It's not AJ, it's not even Usyk. It's that damn DAZN deal.
Yeah.
100 million they've invested in this guy. That's a lot of damn money to invest in a guy that got his ass kicked in the first fight. It's technically not better. And in the fight, who was the bigger puncher on the night? It wasn't Joshua. It was Usyk.
Yeah.
Who got rocked and all stopped in the fight?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yo, Ingram, I wanted to ask you what you thought about that little stare down that Usyk won. He turned around first, but he still.
Let me get both on the camera for that one. You mean this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
crying. Who are you? You're like, he's going, like they're going, like for the cameras, please. And like Josh was gone.
Yeah.
And Lucy looking at who that? What? I'm the champion now. You could do that to Dillian White. You could do that to Andy Ruiz. You could do that to Klitschko. You can't do that to me.
Right.
I'm the champion. I'm running things now. You're not the landlord no more. I took your keys and the damn house.
And the house. Wow.
I could not believe
And
watching
he
this
still,
guy.
even though he turned around, he still looked at him until AJ's turned around. He still won the stare down. I was like, he already like, that just gave him more confidence. Like, dude, like, you can't even stare me down.
Yeah, and like, I've never known. I didn't know Andy Ruiz was undisputed. No, he's unified, but I'd never known Dillian White to get anywhere close to being undisputed at anything. Usyk was undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, moved up to heavyweight, and you know he beat Joshua convincingly. Let's see what people say now.
Sean Porter said he beat Usyk in the amateurs. Did you hear that?
Yeah. I knew that years ago. Because I did. If you go check the channel out, another gem. Go check out my interview with Kenny Porter, and Kenny Porter talks about Sean Porter the amateur days fighting against Usyk. I think the Kenny Porter interview probably when they were going to fight. Even when they're going to fight, I think after they fought Kell Brook, because he was complaining to me about, it might have been after the Kell Brook fight, because he was complaining about how the IBF dropped them out of the ratings after the Kell Brook fight. So check that interview out with Kenny Porter.
Okay.
Love the Lennox Lewis impression. Haven't found anyone to do better yet. Well, I try, bro. I try. Yeah. I wonder what plan Eddie has this time, because against Ruiz, he opened up a buffet for Riz to feast on. What's going to do to Usyk? That's interesting. Dan the Man says, Jimbo, the only problem is that White and Ruiz are not Usyk. Usyk is levels way above those guys. Very valid point, Dan the Man. Absolutely. Please, that Ruiz rematch was fixed. Ruiz didn't box and AJ ran around that large ring. Yes, and remember I told you a story about DAZN or Dead Zone, and one of the top guys in DAZN who said, we will win those belts back by any means necessary. Have you known in the history of boxing, I don't know, where a fight was made, a stadium was built for one fight?
Yeah. I never heard of that either.
And I wonder why this fight, I keep saying this fight's in Saudi Arabia, but the two rematches Joshua's had are both in the Middle East.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, what's up with that?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because there's more money, or if there's more possibilities for things to go.
Wow. Never thought of that.
100 million DAZN deal and 80 million Saudi site fee. That's a lot of money to invest in AJ. That's what I'm saying. So they've got to bring that title home. I think AJ just accepted this guy's got his in the card. He might well do. Usyk translator. Is this big guy as dumb as he looks? Sheesh. This might be easier than the first time. Oh, God.
Wow.
AJ by stoppage. Early body attack will be the key.
Nah, I don't see that happening. Nah.
Well, for AJ to come forward and land a body attack, he's gonna have to make sure he don't get clipped with anything. Porter started his career sometime boxing around 165 pounds. Don't know how he shrunk himself down to 147. Remember Sean, pretty good US footballer background. Yeah, he did beat Usyk in the amateurs. Quite a big guy then. Let's be honest. The Saudis are giving away money like candy because of the alleged sports washing. So it's not about offering 80 million site fee, as the huge investment into AJ DAZN is taking a huge risk. They are taking a huge risk. They're taking a huge risk, Dan and Man, only if they know for rock certain sure Usyk will not. As long as Usyk plays the game, they're not taking a risk. They're only taking a risk if Usyk says, nah, I'll kick your boy's ass before, I'll kick your boy's ass again, and then I want to fight Tyson Fury. I don't know, because I know Usyk's the kind of man, from what I know of Usyk, he's the kind of man that will take all that money he wins against Joshua and use it to rebuild his country. That's the kind of man Usyk is.
Right.
That's the kind of man Usyk is. He said, I'm going to dedicate this fight to the people in Ukraine.
Yeah. That's why it's going to be harder for AJ to beat this Usyk. This is going to be a whole different ball game.
We told, thank you so much there. Thank you for the love. Always appreciate the love. The motivation for Usyk to win must be off the scale with the conflict. AJ will be feeling heat big time. Oh, absolutely. Usyk better buy his own water, check AJ's gloves as the judges might witness the worst judge in history. Yeah, absolutely. Enough of my talk. Let me bring you in the room, Jay, because it's about you now. Let me hear your thoughts.
I'm enjoying hearing your take on all of it.
But Jay, please do let people know about your channel. Jay's got an excellent channel. Congratulations on the marital status and everything. So,
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Welcome to the club, bro. Game over.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd slip that in. Game over.
That's right.
Completely over. Game. This is game over.
Are you married, Ingram?
I said it. Game over. Hey, bro, you can't put money in the slot machine and go again. When the game goes, game over.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It's a wrap. It's a burrito. It's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a euro.
It's over.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So,
I wasn't really into the dating thing though. I was I'm like a hermit. I just keep to myself, you know.
No, game over. That's what happens, bro. Yeah. If you're a hermit, you're even more of a hermit now.
Yeah.
So unless your lady's one of those who likes to travel.
Yeah, that's true. She does.
Then you become an irritated hermit because you want to stay at home and she's like, let's go out here, let's go out there. And you're like, I want to stay at home. But you're married. Game over.
Yeah. It's like trying to keep the peace. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the AJ picture. I've got to bring that AJ picture up again because I can't. Okay. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. For me, it's one that I cannot take it in. And like, could you imagine for a second Mike Tyson doing this?
No.
Can you imagine Mike Tyson doing that?
Yeah, the selfie. Oh, yeah. It's like he's falling for the same thing, you know. It's like you were trying to be focused and, you know, hardcore gangster street dude. Now he's got you, you know, going soft again. Like he worked AJ right back into the old AJ in the first fight. Same thing Ruiz did to him when he was handing him the belts. It's like, dude, this is war. You could do this after. Don't do it before the fight. Before the fight, you have a war mindset. There's no selfies. There's no like playing Uno. There's no playing Twister. You know, just get your mindset for boxing, man. Because this is going to be the toughest fight of his career right here.
But is he ready for the
What's that?
Is he ready for the toughest fight of his career?
Yeah. Especially the fact that he didn't hire James, you know, it's going to really be tough. You know, Robert Garcia, you know, he's an all right trainer, but, you know, I don't think he knows what he's getting into right here.
So check this out. I have one person that came onto the channel, left a comment and said, and I appreciate all comments, I respect all comments, but this guy said, you're not happy because James El-Bashir is not training Anthony Joshua, and, you know, it's about Joshua's career and what pleases him. So because it doesn't please you, you're smashing AJ. I said, no. I said, it's not about that. I said, it's because I want to see heavyweight boxing at its best. I want to see the best trainers with the best fighters. Because think about Deontay Wilder with a world-class trainer. Think about Anthony Joshua with a world-class trainer. You've seen what Tyson Fury's done going with moving from Ben Davison, moving to Sugar Hill. You've seen the difference. Exactly. I mean, people will still have their question marks about this and that about Tyson Fury, but I'm not going to go down that road again. Even though Tyson's banned from America now, but that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, I heard about that. Wow.
You know, I don't know. I just want to see the best fighters in the world with the best trainers getting the best out of those fighters, so we get better fights.
Right.
So we don't get what happened with Joe Smith Jr. against Beterbiev. You know,
Yeah.
if you decide to go for the front door against pound for pound one of the biggest punchers in the world and go straight forward against one of the biggest punchers in the world and say to yourself, I don't respect his punching power, well, good luck to you, mate. You will respect it. You will respect it.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, he's going to have to almost fight a perfect fight. And I say it's going to come down to who's more mentally strong that night, which we all know Usyk is like, I mean, he's one of the most mentally strong fighters I've ever seen. So AJ is going to pretty much have to fight a perfect fight from round one to however long it lasts.
The Selfie thing could not mean anything, but the fact that Usyk is a mental edge over Joshua and he's fallen for the Usyk trap again. But Dan, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you one question. Could you see Mike Tyson in that same piece? If Mike Tyson and Usyk were ever to fight, prime Mike Tyson, would you ever see Mike Tyson taking a picture like that?
Not at all.
Would you see George Foreman taking a picture like that?
Not at all.
The only person I think that could get away doing something like two people I think could get away doing that. Tyson Fury, but if Tyson Fury's going to do it, he'll stick his tongue out in that.
Yeah, so,
Tyson's a clown. It's different. Tyson could do that. He will do that stuff with Usyk because Tyson's strong upset. Tyson could do that. This guy can't do that. He's taking a picture there like if Usyk's a fan of his. Do you not?
Yeah.
You not get that? and this time the roles reversed. He's the heavyweight champion of the world.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. It goes, Joseph, I don't respect Alpha's power. Wonderful. Please feel free to make yourself at home and take a nap in the ring. Team Wilder brought in a glove inspector for the third fight. LOL. Wilder got put to sleep. Wilder fans cried a river. Okay, moving on. Mike Tyson was pre-social media. They all do it now. Do they? Don't bring that pre-media stuff. Huh? You think Marvin Hagler would have done that? You think Marvin Hagler would have done that with Thomas Hearns? Do you think that Chris Eubank would have done that with Nigel Benn? Do you think Marco Antonio Barrera would have done that with Morales? No, I do not accept pre-social, but I don't agree with that at all. The old timers had a different mindset. And the trainers wouldn't have accepted that. You think Bashir would have accepted a picture like that? Or Eddie Futch or Castavano would have accepted that garbage? No. They wouldn't have accepted that stuff because you actually put yourself in almost a subservient level. Subservient. Look at the way the picture is. That's the picture you take if you're with a fan. That's not a picture of a guy that's ready to go to war. That's a picture that's on Usyk's phone. Do you not get that? That picture is going to be on Usyk's phone. That's a picture that Usyk will sit down and look at. And he'll look at that picture. That's the guy that's looking to take my belts from me.
I don't know what AJ was thinking. I just don't. I can't possibly imagine how he goes from war mode to selfie mode.
What game plan would you impose against Usyk? Okay, my game plan would be this. Let's go back and look at the first fight. I'll go back and look at the first fight and look at all the areas where I had success. That's what I would look at. That's the first thing I would do. The second thing I would do is AJ landed good body shots. He did land some good body shots, and he did land some good right hands. And he did not throw the left hook enough, and he did not throw uppercuts. Right? And when AJ did get Usyk into a position, and he was on top of Usyk, he allowed Usyk to escape through the side door. You've got to shut that side door off. You've got to step across Usyk. right? And you've got to take that southpaw away from him. The way you take the southpaw is you take the southpaw by backing Usyk to the ropes. You take away, you've got to back him to ropes and keep him there. Because then it's no longer about southpaw orthodox. It's a fight. And that's where you've got to fight Usyk. It's been said so many times. Yeah, it's been said so many times on this channel. It's been said by myself. It's been said by James Alibashir. It's been said by Staten McKinley. It's been said by so many people on this channel how to fight the southpaw. But the problem with AJ is there's a couple of things that AJ's got. A is that chin. And B, the fight that when he gets hit on the chin, let's put this into perspective. Every time AJ was doing something successful in the fight, it was like a dog barking. Now, pardon the expression, I'm not calling AJ a dog, but it was like I'm just using it from the animal kingdom. Every time AJ got himself in a position to do something positive, he landed a good shot. Usyk would be the owner. He'd slap him down, pow, with a straight left hand, and put AJ back in the box.
Yeah.
Unless AJ is prepared to go through pain, unless AJ is prepared to walk through walls, if Usyk hits him with that left hand early, and he's going to say, nope, not tonight, I'm coming for you. Unless AJ is prepared to do that, I'm sorry. He's going to hit him with that straight left hand again. Memory's going to come back from that first fight. Because let's remember how he fought the second fight against Ruiz. He was petrified running around that ring, tying those. Every time Ruiz came close, he was petrified, tied him up and really was concerned. And he had every reason to be concerned. But this was a Ruiz that was vastly overweight. And that was Ruiz. Now, unless Usyk's going to come into the ring vastly overweight, or like he's going to throw the fight away, we have a very good fighter, skilled, better boxer, arguably a better puncher in the last fight, was able to outmaneuver AJ. So if AJ comes forward this time, and Usyk was expecting AJ to come forward in the first fight, remember, because he's the bigger man, he's the stronger man, everyone says. So the first fight, he was meant to come forward. So now the second fight is going to try and come forward. But Usyk was prepared for the first fight for him to come forward. Usyk wasn't expecting AJ to box with him. Yeah. He was expecting to have a war. And when he said in the post-fight, he said, it was an easier fight than I expected. It's because Usyk expected AJ to come out bombing. He expected AJ to come out, have a war, be the big man, and take it to him. And if you think about the first fight, before he fought that fight, he fought Derek Chisora. And Derek Chisora fought him the way you're meant to fight him. Keep the pressure on Usyk. But Chisora ran about 8 rounds, 7 round 8. He seemed to run out of steam.
Yeah.
So AJ is doing the same thing again pre-fight. Usyk must feel relaxed about fight now. So I've just talked about the game plan there. Did Mayweather take a selfie with Pacquiao before the build-up? Are you comparing Mayweather with Anthony Joshua? Jesus Christ! Some of these people, where are they coming from?
Mayweather's got a very disciplined, tough mind. AJ's disciplined too, but they're nothing alike as far as mentality.
Yeah, it's just, depends on where Usyk's head is. I'm telling you, war is no joke. I've seen an awful life-changing images over the last 3 months, let alone see it in person. Listen, I don't have to have been in war. Just having seen the, I'm sorry to go into detail, the dead bodies of a man that went into a church and shot the whole congregation. Just me seeing images of that is enough to turn my head at night. And the images are still very vivid in my mind. And that's just one day and one event close to home. Wow. So God only knows what goes through Usyk's mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, was it just me, or did Usyk look pretty big yesterday? Like not out of shape big, but like muscular big through his shirt.
Well, the thing is, if you looked at Evander Holyfield, he moved. I remember Usyk saying in a fight, he said that he felt he was too light.
Oh, okay.
And that's when he fought Chisora. He said he was too light.
Oh, I
So
got you.
he got him. He came in bigger against Joshua. Now he may look bigger because he was training in America, for war. Now people said he looked thinner. I don't know. There's some people said that was he looked thinner, but there were photographs that were propaganda photographs. He looks bigger now. But he's what, 35 now?
Yeah.
So he's filling into the heavyweight division.
Yeah, it's like James said, when you get older, you need some weight to absorb the punches.
Yep. Mike Tyson would never fall into his opponent's nice guy type. Fact, Tyson and Henry Tillman were good friends. Tyson told Tillman, I'm knocking you out. We're not friends in that ring. Absolutely. That's a killer instinct. That's a killer instinct.
Yeah, you can be friends after the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Simple thing is, they dragged Usyk out of war in order to gain advantage. Yeah, well, maybe they did. That's all they have. Hopes. AJ's a gentleman. He's trying to be a good sports role model for youths. That's who he is. You're hating on being positive celebrity for the kids. That's why he got his ass beat the first time. Bro, this ain't a bit. You can be a positive role model and you can still kick ass. I give you positive role model getting your ass kicked around the ring by a guy who's a middleweight, as Tyson Fury says.
Yeah, you got to be able to separate the two. You know, what you do in the ring, I mean, that should have nothing to do with your game plan and your aggression. I mean, that's two different things.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big Mish, Larry Hoover, Nameen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimbo, a gentleman who punked and threatened university students. Okay. Oh boy. He goes, the man boxer, you keep poking a bear and you'll get the results.
Keep campaigning, you'll get elected.
AJ would have been better off launching the phone across the room. Yeah, that would have been something. Okay, whatever you say, mate. Dan the man says that. Could you imagine AJ fighting Fury and Fury switching from orthodox to southpaw? Oh God.
Yeah, that's
it's not good, is it? Pacquiao was a nice guy. Pacquiao was a nice guy. Do you see what he did to Ricky Hatton? Do you see what he did to Miguel Cotto? Do you see what he did to Tim Bradley? Did you see what he did to Oscar De La Hoya? Etc. He said he put those guys in a body bag. So a selfie as a media event doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much to Pacquiao or Mayweather or them kind of guys. We're talking about AJ, Big Mish. We're talking about the guy who. Don't worry, Jimbo. Don't worry, mate. It's okay.
It also shows Usyk that he can manipulate somebody like a puppet. Like, I can make you do what I want you to do.
Absolutely. But when AJ tried to manipulate him like a puppet, he just looked at him.
Yeah. Coach, there's no way Coach James would have gone for that, man. He would have pulled AJ aside and be like,
absolutely.
Hey, come here, man.
So this is what Coach Bashir was talking about. These coaches they don't have that. They don't understand. Yeah. Like, when it comes to heavyweight history, they don't understand that. AJ Fernandez and Garcia, they don't get it.
No, they don't.
Those experienced trainers would never have allowed AJ to have done that.
Not at all. It's making you mentally soft. It's like you're caving into what he wants to do. You never want to show your opponent, I'm gonna do what you want. I'd be like, I'm not co-signing nothing you want to offer. It's my show. Right. We're gonna fight my fight. I'm not taking no selfies. I'm not signing autographs. We'll do that later.
Danny Man says, let's be honest, Joshua is not beating Usyk unless it's an act of God or Usyk is compromised. To be blunt, Joshua's only has a puncher's chance. But he only had a puncher's chance when he fought him the first time round. So not much has changed.
One thing I noticed, though, I went back and watched every time Usyk was knocked down, it was from a body shot. So if I was AJ, I would definitely approach it cautiously, but I definitely would attack the body to slow all the movement down.
But that was told that was said the first time. I mean, you went and decided to box. I think Tyson Fury needs to come out and say something to AJ again, tell AJ he's still a stiff bodybuilder, and maybe AJ will fall for it again. It shows you how mentally weak AJ is. That Tyson Fury said to him that he's a big stiff bodybuilder that can't box. That he goes and boxes the guy who's a better boxer, and he decided to implement that game plan rather than follow the game plan for him to retain his belts.
Wow, never looked at it like that. Yeah.
Well, come on, that's what it is.
Yeah.
He said it himself.
I still think AJ fought better when he was like 250. It's like, I mean, the dude is 6'6". It's not like he can't hold 250. I mean, look at Francis Ngannou. Like, he holds like nobody tells him he's overweight. It's not like AJ's fat. I mean, the dude was. I mean, he was fighting better when he was bigger. When he started losing weight, he looks iffy.
No, what happened was he actually thought guys were going to punch him back.
The guys that'll punch him back. Like they weren't just sitting there to take a KO.
They started thumping him back. That's what happened. Ari, Usyk selfie. AJ is a celebrity first, dead boxer.
Do you think, hey Ingram? Do you think the 100 million is gonna make him soft that night? Do you think he's not gonna be as hungry?
We'll know when the first left hand lands on his jaw. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see how he reacts.
Titan Propert says Anthony Joshua flop. Tyson Fury will destroy every one of them. He might do, but he won't be doing it in America. That's for sure.
Why did they ban? Why was he? Wow, I don't get that. Like,
well, maybe through association and by association, maybe, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how many media outlets from the UK get banned going to America. Now that's going to be funny.
Yeah.
Because you'll know then who's associated with who. Right. You can't compare Anthony Joshua with Manny Pacquiao. You can't. The thing is, if AJ wins, he won't get credit because they'll say Usyk was affected by the war. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Usyk plays the fool to catch the fool. Absolutely. They dragged Usyk out of the war. Yeah, well, I don't know if they dragged him out of the war. He was given permission to leave the war. He didn't have to leave the war. He was given permission. Kovalev was a pretty good role model. The guy didn't take pictures with fans, let alone fellow fighters. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. Yeah, can you picture Drago taking a selfie with Creed?
Oh, man. 70 years ago, I was scared of AC. Now I think I could take him. I think I was to slap AJ in the face. He would give me a lecture about instead of slapping me. Oh, dear. The guy in the room should have said, both of us will have you teetering and tottering like in the Ruiz fight. Body. How did Usyk go to war but turn up at the press conference all swollen like that?
Maybe the machine guns was real heavy.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm sorry. That was just too easy.
Oh, dear me. You have to laugh.
Yeah. I thought he was looking like Mr. Universe through that shirt.
He is. Do you really want to kick off, huh? Do you really want to kick off? Because I can. That's funny. Derek Chisora. I'm not buying any into that AJ tried to box rubbish. He can neither box nor pressurize him.
Oh, wow. I think, you know what? If AJ does like you said and keeps Usyk on the ropes, I think he can win though. But it's a matter of if
he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that.
If he does the same thing he did the first fight, I'm a scream at the TV.
He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. You know why he's not going to do that? Because he should have done it the first fight, and it was logical to do. It was also logical to bring Bashir in. He didn't do that. It was
Yeah,
also
I
logical
still
to.
don't get that. I still don't understand that.
It was also logical not to take a photograph of Usyk again like this. It's even worse,
Right.
this photograph.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw the selfie because I was going by the stare down. Both dudes looked like they was kind of hostile this time, and then next thing I know, they're posing like they're Disneyland.
Yeah, it looks like we should have put Disneyland in the background. We should have done that.
Yes, the Mickey Mouse ears, yeah. Yeah, I was like, where's this coming from? You guys just mad dogged each other for about 2 minutes.
What they should do, you should have had that. You should have seen the first fight, and you should have Usyk showing him saying, "You remember what you see the first fight? You see the 12th round? Well, it's going to be round 13 now. This is round 13. Take a look at round 13. Are you ready for round 13, AJ?" And AJ goes, "I'm ready. I've got Angel. I've got Robert Garcia. I've got my new deal with DAZN, and I've got Angel Fernandez in my corner. I've got a new training team, and yeah, DAZN all the way."
What is it? And I heard you say that Robert Garcia said that AJ had mental problems. He really said that?
He was dumb enough to say that. How can you come out as a trainer and say that AJ's got mental problems?
Like, what was he trying to accomplish by that? Like, what was his end game by saying that?
This is what Bashir was saying about these trainers are not they haven't got it upstairs.
Yeah.
They're making amateur mistakes. Like
you just like if AJ was unsure of himself before, like what's he gonna be now?
AJ, as you said, Joshua is happy to come. He's happy to come if it is happy to come. Come second. Yeah, of course he's happy to come second.
Yeah, man. I mean, Emmanuel Stewart, James, Ali Bashir, they would have never said anything like that. Like, if anything, they're going to talk about how strong his mind is, how focused he is, even if they have to exaggerate.
I think it's to do with the fact that the Mountain Fury, the dad got into the brawl out there. Okay. I've seen streams like this before. The best thing is to tune into the streams after AJ wins to see the change of energy. Well, I think the best thing you can do is to tune into the previous videos before the lead up to the AJ fight, and then you can see the same energy that you're going to see every week. I've been doing this over 10 years, mate. The energy doesn't change because I'm not a fake. Fake people change energy. I don't change energy because I'm the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I'm not trying to put a show in to impress people. If you don't like it, as Tyson Fury says, change the channel. Moving on.
I actually hope Anthony Joshua wins. I'm a big fan of his. I just think he's making some bad choices.
Listen, the thing is, people want you to jump to their agenda without actually seeing the history of how things are. So I don't suffer fools. At the end of the day, like before the first fight, way back with Joseph Parker, back then they were saying Anthony Joshua needs to leave Matchroom. He needs to leave Matchroom. He just get himself a proper heavyweight trainer. When he was with Joseph Parker, after Joseph Parker fight, find himself a proper trainer, and maybe sign with Al Heyman. Right. If you sign with Al Heyman, that Wilder fight would have happened.
Yeah, that's the fight. I wanted to see that fight more than any of them.
He would have been a bigger name. He would have been a bigger name today in boxing. He would have been a bigger name in boxing.
Hey, speaking of Wilder, Ingram, did you hear his new song he put out called "Every Time" with him and his brother?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard stories about it.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. AJ has compared himself to Nicky Barnes and Big Mish. That's an indication of how in touch he is with reality.
Wow.
I heard Joshua call Uncle Bashir a chatty patty. That's why he didn't take him on.
I've never heard that.
Wow. Hey, he say what he wants. Yeah, exactly. Anthony Joshua's better going to Tony Sims. He had his most exciting fights, i.e. knockouts. Possibly, but I heard stories that it was McCracken that was training Joshua. AJ is his own worst enemy. Do you guys agree with Fury's comments that AJ gets stopped if he tries going onto the front foot aggressive? Yes, I agree. Totally.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it depends on his attack. You know, it's not. It's more than just the front foot. It's what's he going to do besides that? Is he going to mix up his punches, or is he going to be one dimensional?
I watched the stream after the Ruiz rematch. There was definitely a change of energy. Hey, let me change the energy for you. Before the Ruiz first fight, I told everyone that Ruiz was going to knock out AJ. Did you see the energy then? And then I told the story of how I met somebody at DAZN that said they would win the title back by any means necessary. Did anyone expect Ruiz to come into the shape that he came in that night?
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So the energy I had was based on the Ruiz that fought the first fight. You comparing the Ruiz from the first fight to the second fight. Yeah, the energy would change. What the hell did Ruiz do? He came into the fight like 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight. That wasn't the same Andrew Ruiz that fought the first fight. Come on.
Yeah, he could hardly move.
So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Bro, just go away, bro. Wilder had a great career of Heyman. Only had one belt, fought bums and made 100,000 less money. Was found out when he stepped up in a cherry pit gone wrong with Fury. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. You compare Wilder to Joshua. No, I wouldn't compare Wilder to Joshua. Two things. First of all, Joshua would have had, in my world, Joshua had a better trainer in his corner. 1, 2. If it was in my world, Wilder would have had a better trainer in his corner. So it's okay to look at things, and you're comparing two different fighters. See, I think Al Heyman could have done a good job with AJ. And by the way, I think Deontay Wilder, for his limited skill set that everyone talks about, has done a not bad job with his career. Hey, he was, 40 fights unbeaten, WBC heavyweight champion of the world, 9 defenses of the WBC heavyweight title. I think he did well. And he got beat, and the guy he got beat with is going to be has beaten 2 of the best fighters in the last 10 years. He's beaten Klitschko and he's now beaten Wilder. Both guys won like 9 or 10 defenses of the heavyweight title. I think Wilder got beat by a guy who's pretty decent, to be fair.
Right.
So I'm not quite sure where you're going with that logic.
I would favor AJ over Wilder though. Still, I think if AJ got knocked down, he would get up. Wilder would probably get up, but I still think AJ would beat Wilder.
I'm still laughing when AJ talking about documentaries, listening to music to motivate him. Shake my head. It's all about the money for Eddie and Joshua. Joshua's a paper boy. Ingram Jones, let me change the energy for you. Whoa, Ingram came out swinging. Ingram Jones changing people's energy since 2020. So wait, Matchroom force-fed Ruiz a bunch diet of burritos. No, they fed him a bunch of money. Very easy. He had money, he was running out of money, they gave him more money. Just kind of like the Charles Martin fight. Have you not seen the Charles Martin fight where Charles Martin fought so well fought well after he fought Joshua, but in this fight, Joshua hit with one right hand, he falls on the floor, he gets up, he gets it with right hand again, and that's it. Have you seen Charles Martin fight like that since? I haven't seen Charles Martin fight like that since. We know that belt was bought. The IBF belt was bought for Joshua. I mean, if you sit down here thinking that, anyway, I'm not gonna sit down here. I'm not gonna sit down here talking to you, bro. Garcia already publicly agreed that AJ has confidence issues. Not good. That's not the sort of thing that a trainer would be saying, like exposing you like that. You already have confidence issues, and you're exposing that. And he's calling Bashir chatty patty. If Bashir's chatty patty, then what is this?
I would never hire a trainer that said anything negative about me publicly. If you have something to say negative or a critique, say it privately. Don't go putting me out on blast before the fight.
Your trainer's already exposed you once already, saying you got mental problems. So a guy who's mentally a master in Usyk, you don't say nothing.
I would have fired him right during the interview.
But remember, AJ said he's calculated about all that he does. He's a great businessman. So, all right. Seriously, I think Joshua Parker would beat Joshua now. First time seeing this live stream like in what I'm hearing honestly. Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Titan. Last time I saw Martin, he was getting knocked out unconscious by Old Man Ortiz. Yeah. Okay. I'm not quite sure. So let's take it here. Luis Ortiz got 2 shots at the World Heavyweight title against Deontay Wilder. Right? Got knocked. Ortiz is now going to go and fight Andy Ruiz. Okay, fair enough. But Charles Martin, also, I've got to say, who else has Charles Martin knocked out since that comeback of the Joshua fight? I think he beat a few guys since he come back.
I think Gerald Washington.
Knocked Gerald Washington out. He gave Adam Kawanaki a great fight.
Yeah.
He fought a lot of heart. So to get knocked out by Ortiz, it's not a bad thing. Ortiz can punch.
Yeah, he can definitely punch.
If Usyk knew English and speaking to AJ, brav, what are you on about? Listen, oh, by the way, don't let Usyk fool you. I told you all about Canelo speaking English, and he understands English better than you all believe. Now Canelo's talking English all of a sudden. All them times he's doing interviews, they ask him the question in English, he answers in Mexican. I'm like, wait, there's no translator here, but you're asking the question in English, he's answering in Mexican. Now, Usyk, they ask him the question, Usyk knows it, he's listening to the conversation, he's watching AJ, he's listening to the conversation, then he gets the translator. Usyk can speak English.
Yeah.
And how do I know that? Because I've done a live interview for Usyk.
Wow.
So Usyk plays the game. I've had him live on his channel. Live.
Wow.
So he's playing. Usyk's playing the game.
Well, I can hardly wait for August 20th, man.
Ingram, AJ also said he's a smart individual, so don't go by what he says. Yeah, okay. Luis Ortiz is supposed to be like 137 years old, but his only losses are from one man, and people keep avoiding him like crazy. Indeed. Yeah, but Martin was doing pretty well on winning the Ortiz fight, I think. Yeah, well. Harold Graham was doing well against Julian Jackson. He still didn't become WBC middleweight champion of the world.
And I would never say that AJ isn't smart. I would just say that he can be easily
manipulated.
Wrong people.
Yeah, manipulate. I'm sure Joshua doesn't look at the other fragile heavyweights like Lennox and Vladimir to take a hint of how to change trainers properly. Yeah, well, you know, those guys are clowns, remember? You know, them guys are clowns. Remember, Leif, them guys are clowns. So, you know, don't be shocked, bro. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked.
Oh, man.
So, Joshua said Mrs. Brashear was chatty patty. Where's the source? Dudes capping Ingram. I won't pay no attention to them dudes. I wouldn't pay any attention to them. I don't pay attention to them. Obviously, people are coming around. I don't pay attention to the majority of them. And most of them don't even turn up in the member section. A, they don't turn up in the member section, and B, they don't come up subscribers. So I don't pay them any mind. As AJ seen a sports psychologist, I thought there was talk about that after the Ruiz loss. He was seeing a sports psychologist before the Ruiz fight. Before the Ruiz fight, I revealed that to you. AJ was seeing a sports psychologist. And what was he seeing a sports psychologist about? He was seeing a sports psychologist because he was scared of getting knocked out by Andy Ruiz. He was having nightmares about Ruiz knocking him out. That's before the fight. And let's talk about Joey DeWaco. Do we forget about the Joey DeWaco sparring session with AJ?
Was that true? Was that true that he knocked out AJ in sparring?
So why did he sign a non-disclosure from AJ's team?
Oh, did he? I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah, and I've seen Joey DeWaco fight. I was not even slightly impressed.
How should have AJ changed trainer? Do you think to pretend not to speak English to appear intimidating? I think if you give the impression you can't speak English, is that you can rally up and talk what you talk because you think the other person doesn't hear what you're saying, but you understand everything they're saying, and then you speak in your language, and they ain't got a clue what you're saying. I think that is quite a clever thing. Lennox changed trainer immediately after McCall KO'd him. Thank you. There you go. That's it.
Yeah. And he hired Emmanuel Stewart, the guy that was training Oliver McCall.
Okay, let me pull this in here. It's these comments like this that you just know they're just commenting comments' sake. Bro, why are you so clueless? There's no hate for AJ. It's like, this is the reason why AJ's in the position he's in the first place. It's people like you are the reason why AJ's getting beat. People like you, because you subscribe to the rubbish. You subscribe to rubbish, right? When AJ should have changed and got a decent trainer, he didn't, right? When AJ was in camp and like he's got a trainer that doesn't care for him, a trainer that doesn't sit there and watch videos with him or watch back his fights. It's you, people like you, who are not informed and don't understand that turn and say I'm hating. How can it be hating that you want to see? If it was hating, there's no way I'd be wanting a James Bashir to train AJ. Wow, how can that be hating? How can it be hating to want a fighter to work with a trainer who's trained Usyk for 3 years? How is that hating? Talking absolute rubbish.
AJ and Fury are my favorite fighters, so there's absolutely no hate for AJ. I just think he should have made a different choice as far as trainers. That's all I'm saying.
He said it was said Bashir talks too much. This was on Stamina for Sale. Didn't quite say chatty patty. Think the guy was talking paraphrasing. Oh, that was on Stamina for Sale. The same Stamina for Sale, may I add, did an interview and had Bashir in the interview at the time. And may I just add, the same Stamina for Sale, no disrespect, that's sticking Anthony Yarde against Beterbiev. I think the concern should be about Anthony Yarde fighting Beterbiev, not James Bashir being chatty patty.
I mean, if you're on an interview, he's supposed to talk. I mean, you don't bring him on a show to just give expressions. You want him to say something. Listen
to me. The way I look at it is this. A lot of these people talking absolute rubbish, right? The stuff that Bashir's got, the stuff that Bashir talks about off one finger, you could get most of the boxing trainers and put them together in one room who could not understand what Bashir's talking about.
Yeah.
Do you understand? People don't value truth. People value people on television talking a whole heap of rubbish, right? That's the problem. So what happens here is when you've got people of quality and value, they are submerged with bullshit. So what happens is people believe the bullshit. People now talk about Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart's this, Emmanuel Stewart's that, Emmanuel Stewart's this. This was regarded as a right-hand man for Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart went to Bashir for ideas. Emmanuel Stewart went to Bashir for thoughts. It was Bashir and Emmanuel Stewart.
Yeah.
Who was Robert Garcia's right-hand man? Who's Angel Fernandez's right-hand man? Let's talk about these trainers. Freddie Roach was Eddie Futch. Let's talk about these trainers. Let's talk about these trainers. So if you want to talk about trainers, talk to me about legacy. Who trained you to be a trainer? Who was around you? What was the think tank around you? Because your ceiling can only grow as much as the people that have been around you.
Yeah, that's true.
So when people are criticizing Bashir, it's only because they don't understand. It's only because it's not filling their agenda. Like people come and say, I'm hating AJ. If I were hating AJ, I'd sit and say AJ's crap, he's rubbish, he's this, he's that. That's not hating. Hey, that's not hating. What I'm sitting here saying is, look, these are the things that got him in trouble the first time. I've even said how you beat Usyk. If you hate someone, you don't want to see them have success.
Yeah. Well, truth is not a very popular thing nowadays. Everything has to be sugar-coated and politically correct.
Okay, it says here, but Ingram, of course you wanted Bashir to train him. Does it make AJ wrong because he feels Garcia is better for him?
It makes no sense. Why would you not bring in the guy that's worked with Usyk, that was with the best trainer, Emmanuel Stewart? It just makes no sense to bring in Robert
Okay,
Garcia.
let pick sense from nonsense. Why would you go in a fight against a guy that's kicked your ass the first time? You would fight the guy. Okay, let me take you back into some boxing history. Let's take you back in time. Back in the day, Don King, the greatest promoter of all time, right? You know why he was so successful? He was successful because his fighters had handlers. No matter where those fighters went, he had handlers. He had somebody looking after those fighters all the time. That's what he did. Okay. So let me show you this for a second. Let me just bring this in a second. When you're talking about guys like Bashir, right? First of all, there's no way AJ would be training in Sheffield in an amateur gym, developing amateurs. If Bashir was training AJ, he'd be up in Klitschko's camp, bringing in the best sparring.
Yeah.
You guys got to understand what a professional heavyweight training camp looks like.
Right.
If you don't understand that, what does Robert Garcia know about a professional heavyweight training camp? Bashir was in camp when Klitschko was training. He had the likes of White, Joshua. Who else was sparring with him in camp? Let me think. Big Baby Miller, Deontay Wilder, Richard Towers. Who else was sparring with him? Malik Scott, Jonathan Banks. So he had a list of heavyweights in the top 10, prime or coming into their prime. That's who Klitschko was sparring. Top quality heavyweights to prepare him to fight when he was in camp. James Bashir got Usyk the undisputed cruiserweight. That can't be a bad trainer for AJ to beat Usyk. But he got him the WBO cruiserweight championship of the world, right? That's the first thing. But how many of those trainers do you know have trained a guy from scratch and brought them up to the top 10 of the heavyweight division?
Right, yeah.
Do I know who AJ's got in camp for sparring? Frankly, mate, I don't know. But they better bring quality sparring into camp, because if they don't bring quality sparring into camp, he's going to get hammered.
Who can you even bring in to mimic? Who can you bring in to mimic his style unless it's like Frank Sanchez?
Frank Sanchez would be one of the first guys I bring into sparring. But you need to, for me, I would be bringing guys in that were light heavyweights.
Yeah,
bringing light heavyweights in. Light heavyweights, middleweights for speed. So light heavyweights for speed. And what I'd be teaching AJ to do is cut the corners off, cut them off the corners. So come out the side, come off the sides. Don't come straight down the middle. Come down the sides and practice throwing the left hook to the right hand. So when Usyk comes one way, you've got the left hook. When Usyk goes your way, throw the right hand. So when Usyk's exiting out the side doors, you throw your left hook to your right hand.
Right.
Lots more feints.
That makes total sense.
Why would you not have the guy? Why would you not have the guy in camp that trained Usyk?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Well, let's put them face to face. Robert Garcia and James Bashir. How many heavyweights has Robert Garcia trained? One journeyman heavyweight. How many heavyweights has James Bashir trained? Countless. Yeah. Let's talk about Robert Garcia. Did he ever train Alexander Usyk? No. Robert Garcia, James Bashir trained Alexander Usyk for 3 years.
Yeah. I just thought of something, Ingram. What if AJ feels he can't beat Usyk, and so this is going to be his excuse? Like, my trainer, like, maybe if he brought in Bashir and still lost, then he feel like, well, I just can't beat this guy. But maybe that's his out. So if I lose, I brought in the wrong trainer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I doubt it, but I'm just wondering. I'm trying to figure out why would you bring in Garcia over Bashir? I just don't get it.
Yeah, and look at Garcia's record against Southpaws.
Oh, is it bad?
Not good.
Oh wow, there's another wow. Well, still, he's still got a lot of time between August 20th. Hopefully, he can still get it right between now and then.
You don't think he's sparring smaller, quicker fighters? Yeah, amateurs. 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 He's probably getting guys from the amateurs, southpaws from the amateurs, to spar with him. That's what I think, based on what he's done before.
Oh man.
You know, like for me, if AJ invests in quality sparring, gets away from Sheffield, goes into a proper training camp away from Sheffield, a professional training camp in a professional boxing gym. So if he goes to Robert Garcia's gym, I hope he's away from Sheffield. He's training with Robert Garcia's gym, and let's hope they bring in some quality sparring. For me, he could go into heavyweight gym with Stacey McKinley. He's got lots of heavyweights they could train with there. You know, but it's the quality heavyweight sparring you'd have. That's
like Trevor Bryan, right?
Oh boy, I tell you something, right? I don't know what Trevor Bryan was doing, but did I not mention about Trevor Bryan? If he comes in there looking at Danny Dubois looking for an autograph, he's going to get knocked out.
That fight was so one-sided. It's like they were fighting in two different speeds.
I was wondering, like I said, Trevor Bryan looked like a guy who's pulled out the audience.
And I noticed it was like the crowd was like half empty. It looked like a rodeo stadium. It was a weird venue.
It's not rocket science what AJ needs in camp. Actually, it is rocket science. That's why he got his ass beat the first time. Because if it wasn't rocket science, AJ would have beaten Usyk. So I disagree with you. It is rocket science what AJ needs in camp. And the reason why I say it is because he hasn't got Bashir in camp. So it is rocket science because you would get the guy who knows the guy that he's fighting. That's rocket science.
Man, if I was a heavyweight fighter, it's a no-brainer. I paid Bashir whatever he wanted.
I understand you wanted Ali Bashir, but we can expect what can we expect from Garcia? Yes, diet is different from heavyweight, but first champions can't be disregarded. You're basically experimenting. You've never had a heavyweight champion, so you're experimenting this guy's rematch against his toughest fight of his career. It's an experiment. It could go right, or it could go horribly wrong. I wouldn't want that for AJ. If I was a hater, I would say, yeah, great guy at Robert Garcia. Great that he's experimenting. So basically, AJ is an experiment for Robert Garcia. Because Robert Garcia has got no proven record at heavyweight. I want to have my first heavyweight champion. But you've got no proven record, mate, as a heavyweight. You've got no proven record at heavyweight.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like ever since he lost to Ruiz, he keeps bringing in, Hispanic fighters. I don't know if it's psychological, like, he thinks they have his number, or I know he seems to look up to Canelo a lot.
I heard a story that I heard something come out recently. AJ said he doesn't believe in black trainers.
Oh wow, really? Wow. I sure hope that's not true.
That's what I heard.
Wow.
He doesn't believe in black trainers.
I wonder why that is.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. I heard that came up quite recently as well. I think somebody was talking about it. He said he doesn't believe in black trainers. Mind you, Kovalev said the same thing. And what happened with Kovalev? He got his ass kicked and went back to a black trainer.
Kovalev said that?
Yeah, he said he didn't need black American trainers.
Wow.
Then he brought his mate in, got his ass kicked, and then I think he went back to John David Jackson like afterwards.
Yes, he said once you go black, you don't go back.
So AJ calls himself a throwback fighter, but didn't hire a throwback trainer teacher. Weird. Okay. Well, see, people are saying it. Is this hating or is this stating truth, prayer, fact?
Yeah. Yeah, nowadays when you point out what's true, you're considered a hater.
Because he had white trainers all his wife. It's not. Look who says it's not true. No, it's not true. No, it's not true. I would be surprised if you two guys work. Do you guys work for Matchroom by any chance? Definitely must be on the AJ train. Absolutely. Come on. You don't think it's true? Okay. Well, is there any evidence to suggest different? Is there any evidence to suggest different? I mean, I didn't say it, but this is what I heard. And there was a few people in America talking about it as well. It's come from somewhere. So actually, let me Google that. Let me Google it.
I just hope AJ's not still trying to find himself. I mean, before he was talking like, you know, Nino Brown from New Jack City. Now he's being philosophical again. I just hope he just finds his old self. Like, he was just much better back in the days. He's way too tentative now. He's got to forget that. Okay, you got knocked out. That's in the past. You just have to find a way to move past it. And if he doesn't know how to do that, then every fight that comes up is going to be a problem.
Well, his trainer on one hand is saying that he's got mental problems, but on the other hand, the trainer's saying he's a better all-round fighter than the rest of the heavyweight division. But Tyson Fury is a beast. that confuses me.
Yeah, it's like double talk.
Well, either do you believe in man or don't you believe in your man?
Yeah.
I want to have my first heavyweight champion, but he's got mental problems.
Yeah. If I was AJ, I'd remember that when it's time to write his check. Be like, hey, I didn't write enough zeros. My mind was tripping.
Like,
sorry about that.
Again, if I was a hater, I wouldn't be looking out for AJ's best interests.
Right.
I'm pointing out the red flags here. Just like I pointed the red flags out for the Ruiz fight. Just like I pointed the red flags out for the Usyk fight. Yeah. I'm not going to sit down here and rah up AJ.
Right.
And I'm not going to rah up Usyk either. Usyk beat him because AJ used the wrong game plan. But
yeah,
even if AJ brings the right game plan now, Ingram, did you see footage of Garcia when asked about Wilder AJ a few years back? Garcia basically laughed at AJ and said Wilder's too powerful on the Cahill. No chance for AJ. Oh boy. and AJ also said, this is the same guy that said he doesn't need to go to America. America needs to come to him.
Wow.
You don't need to go to America.
Yep.
I'll never look at AJ the same way if it's true. Well, with AJ, anything's possible. I'm not saying it's true or not true. I've just heard the speculation. Okay. Putting out speculation based on the evidence. Bro, I'm sorry. You're just wasting my time. I've dealt with people like you all on social media. And of 2022, I ain't got time for it. You just, anything I say, you're just going to try and swerve and change it. Good night.
Good night now.
On. Good night. Tony Tucker, how are you, Ingram? I'm much better not knowing you. Good night, Tony Tucker. Moving on. AJ said he doesn't need a trainer to beat Usyk after his loss. Remember he said that as well?
He doesn't need a trainer. Wow.
Your way of delivery needs to be worked on. That's why you came across as hating. Just a suggestion, bro. Right. And your way of looking at things needs to be changed, bro. Just a suggestion. Thank you. If you don't like the channel, you can go. It's fine. My channel isn't here to entertain you. If you want entertainment, you know, you could look at many YouTube channels and get entertainment. I'm not here to entertain. This is not BWTM Sports here to entertain you. This is BWTM Sports, my opinion, my thoughts. I'll do things my own way. Been doing it 10 years. Don't need your suggestions. Thank you very much. But anyway, Jay Roos, you're the man in the room. Please let me know what you're thinking.
I'm just thinking that AJ from the press conference, he sounds like he's back to talking like he used to talk. You know, last time I saw him do an interview, he was talking like he was a gangster from South Central LA, and now he's talking like the philosophical. I just wish he picked one version, you know, that way I know, okay, everything's okay, and he's not still trying to figure himself out, because August 20th will be here before he knows it. He has to figure out who he is, what type of game plan he's going to use. He can't go in there thinking about New Jack City and Boys in the Hood. That's not going to help on fight night.
Hold on a second. You need to go to Sporting Icons. I would like people to know that Sporting Icons did do an interview on this channel. A lot of people don't understand this channel. Like, we've probably not boosting my own ego, but the king of crossovers. Most channels we've done crossovers with. So listen, I'm not at this stage, right? At this stage, I don't need to be trying to grab subscribers or trying to please people. This is my style. Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to hate it. It's what it is. But I'm not going to sit here and try and butter up and toy. Hey, Jay, leave that for Matchroom, Hype Room. Let them keep talking that crap and getting all their fighters smashed. As Don King says, Hearn makes a lot of money and loses a lot of money by poor matchmaking. Let them keep doing that stuff. That's their business. That's what they do, right? I'm just here to give an opinion and my thoughts, bring my brothers on the show, let them talk. And when I say brothers, I say that collectively, because I've had black people on the show, I've had white people on the show, I've had Filipino people on the show, I've had all races and colors on this show. So don't even go there. So
yeah, keep doing your thing, Ingram. You got one of the best channels out there. I enjoy watching all your content, man. If people don't like it, they can kick rocks barefoot on Pebble Beach.
Hey, I listen. I listen. Let them go on. Because just subscribe to you. The YB brought me here. Wow! Shout out to the YB. I love the YB, man. Listen, if I want to get good joke, I just sit down to YB and listen. Him, Ultra Tech. Love to listen to those two guys because I just sit back and just laugh. Because it's not laugh because I don't laugh at them, but the way they put things together is very funny. Of course, love your stuff. Jay Roos, by the way, let people know where they can find you, bro. Let people know where they can find you.
Oh yeah, check me out. I'm the Jay Roos Theory here on YouTube. I got a backup page called WJ, but where I post my main videos is on the Jay Roos Theory. I cover mainly heavyweight boxing, but you know, when boxing's slow, I talk about other things. So please subscribe and check me out, and I really appreciate it.
Hey, Taruth News says top channel. The last person that said top channel was Peter Fury. He goes top channel. I need to start posting videos again. I've been great. I've been enlightened a lot tonight, but critics is a part of growth. For example, Ali Bashir is a great insight. Yeah, but for Ali Bashir to come on this channel, and it's, you know, Uncle Bashir revealed something to this. It's almost 10 years we've been together. Wow. 2013, I did my first interview with James Ali Bashir. 2013.
Wow.
Do you know, like, Uncle Bashir's been on this channel. Tyson Fury did a live interview on this channel. When Tyson Fury was talking to none in the media, he spoke to me.
Wow.
Live on this channel. OLEKSANDR Usyk, live on this channel. Dimitri Bivol, live on this channel.
Wow.
Huh?
That's quite a resume.
Muhammad Ali's brother called me up and said, do the interview with me on this channel.
Wowzers.
I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I don't need to. But it is what it is. Right?
Yeah,
so
speaks for itself.
These jolly come latelys, right? who've got no face, no name, and they come in and start fraying their fight. You're criticizing, I'm this and that. And they haven't seen the whole journey. They haven't seen half the journey. Like, if I was hating, there's a way to hate, and I'm not hating. I just don't like to see, for me, when you see it, when a fighter is not aligned with a very good trainer and a quality trainer, they miss a lot on the tutelage. And when they miss a lot on the tutelage, then us as fighters, us as viewers don't get to see the full fight. They don't get to see the best fight in the best, because ultimately it's not the best fight in the best. It's mediocre versus mediocre.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting the best fighters because you've not got the trainers to teach them. So we don't get the best versus the best. You're paying pay-per-view, right? For guys who don't want to invest and pay money into the trainers, but are quite happy to collect the pay-per-view money. Why should you pay money to watch guys who are not even training the best trainers? It's not like they haven't got enough money. It's not that they can't pay the money. So yeah, of course I'm saying what I'm saying.
Yeah. And pay-per-view ain't cheap here in America.
Of course, no, it's not. It's not cheap anywhere. This is the best boxing channel, along with Nordic Warrior. Both stick to the truth. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. YB is a clown. I love YB, man. YB is what brought me here. Shout out to YB. John Smith. Now there's a legend. How you doing, mate? Coach Chris. Oh wow, Coach Chris. Shall we bring Coach Chris into the room? Shall we bring Coach Chris into the room?
Yeah, let's bring him in.
If I bring Coach Chris into the room, I know what the first subject's going to be, and the room will catch fire. It will be that Fury got banned from America. Wait, you will make a guess. I'll make a guess. Coach Chris is probably like, yeah, Fury got banned from America. Fury got banned from. He's like, yeah, good.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, got to bring Coach Christian. Love Coach Chris. Let me get Coach Chris into the room. Fellow American, by the way, if you don't know who Coach Chris is.
Oh, okay. Coach Chris.
Coach Chris, yeah, he's from Maryland. Strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, okay, got you.
Coach Chris, come into the house, man. There you go. Right. But promise me one thing, Coach Chris. No glove game. No glove game. No glove game. Skype calls from the day. Wow. Remember them Skype calls. Ing was a legend in my book. Thank you, bro. We appreciate that. Before lockdown. I thought it was YB's video, LOL. Coach Chris is epic every video. Subscribe. Arnold, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate the subscription. Look, it's just about being honest. I'm not here to sugarcoat, butter anything up. And even if you paid me, I wouldn't butter things up. I might be a little less aggressive if you paid me a bit of money. I might tiptoe a little bit. I might be a bit more diplomatic. But I cannot be diplomatic about stuff I'm watching going, what? Why would you do that? Yeah. How could you do this? So it's not a case of I hate Anthony Joshua. It's like when I could see the issues going into the Ruiz fight, the first Ruiz fight, and I was told Joshua should have fought Trevor Bryan. Imagine the night Joshua fought Ruiz, he fought Trevor Bryan.
Wow, yeah, been a totally different result.
And Eddie Hearn decided not to fight Trevor Bryan because Andy Ruiz was a fat boy, and I would have said, "Don't take that fight."
I said at the time, I said Ruiz is going to be his toughest fight. I said that before the fight.
I said, keep away from Ruiz. He's got a dangerous left hook. He's a combination puncher, and if you catch you with a good, and I said AJ will get caught in between his attack. There's a big left hook. Go back and look at my video. I said because AJ is a better boxer when he's not on the attack. When AJ is on the attack and he leaves himself open to get countered, and he's open to the big left hook, like he doesn't see the left hook coming. If you look at how he got countered by Dillian White, it was the left hook.
Dillian White, right?
So he doesn't see the left hook. Maybe I don't know if his stance. BWTM won't be the same if you was diplomatic. LOL. Well, I'm on TV twice a week now, so I have to be kind of diplomatic in what I do now. Those people can watch it on the playlist. They can see me twice a week on TV, and I have to be kind of diplomatic because of the role that I'm in. I can't be all guns blazing. I've got to kind of be diplomatic and sort of like, You know, you're getting enemies on TV. It's a bit different. You know, you got to go and work with these people as well.
Congratulations to you on that, Ingram.
Oh, thank you so much. It's
yeah, you deserve it.
Opportunities, you know, twice a week, talking to quite a few people. People, over 200 million people are watching.
Oh, wow.
So that's a lot of people to be talking to.
Wow, yeah, that's goodness.
It's opportunity, and talking about something that I'm pretty well versed in. So, Coach Chris, I've sent you the link. If you see it, jump in. So, while we're waiting for Coach Chris, give us your take on what you're seeing, Jay.
As far as the Joshua Usyk situation?
Yeah. From American perspective, how are you seeing this?
I see it like I think Usyk is going to be a lot more dangerous as opposed to contrary belief where people think he's shook because of what's going on with the Ukraine-Russian war. I think it's going to make him even more ferocious. So you can't. I hope AJ looks at it like that. I hope he's not coming in thinking that he's fighting a mentally weak guy, because Usyk's not that guy. He's going to feel like he's fighting for his country. He's heavyweight champion. He knows he beat you one time already. So, yeah, AJ has to fight, like I said, he has to fight a perfect fight basically from round one to however long it goes. And it's still not too late to bring in James Ali Bashir. But I'm hoping Robert Garcia can, do something and surprise us all, because, like I said, AJ and Fury are my favorite fighters. So I'm actually hoping AJ wins, but it's an uphill battle, man. It's definitely not going to be easy.
Now check this out. What are your thoughts on how Usyk would look at that deal that AJ just signed with DAZN?
Oh yeah,
that money could be going to the Ukraine.
Oh wow, yeah, I hadn't even, yeah, wow. Yeah, that's some extra motivation there.
You're making a lot of money, bro. You're making a lot of money, bro. That money's not going to go to no Ukraine, that's for sure. So beat your ass, ruin your plans, and put his money back into Ukraine.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Just the look in Usyk's eyes yesterday. I mean, Joshua looked serious too, but the way Usyk was looking at him, man, Usyk looked like he was ready to stab him or something.
Joshua looks like that in every fight. Every press conference, he looks like this.
Oh yeah, does he?
I don't. If somebody says to him, "Look, what you want to do is find a spot on the wall somewhere and focus at that spot. Keep looking at that spot on the wall. Yeah, look at the wall. Just look straight at the wall. Just look at the wall. Get a spot on the wall and do this." And Eddie Hearn, I like Eddie. Like, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome into this press conference for Usyk versus Joshua 2. We've got AJ, who's hungrier than ever. He's in the best shape of his career. He's Joshua like this.
You know what, man? I think Joshua low-key imitates Lennox Lewis, because he says a lot of things Lewis used to say, and then he won't give him credit for it. Like, he'll say little snippets, and then that little blank look. Lewis used to do that all the time. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, but Lennox did that. Lennox did that in a fight before a fight. Look at you, like Lennox will look at you in a corner, look at like this.
Yeah, he'd be like in a trance, like he did Shannon Briggs. He didn't blink for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, but Shannon Briggs had him out on his feet in that first round.
Yeah, I remember hearing that, because at the time I thought he was off balance. I never knew he was that hurt. I was like, wow.
He was out on his feet in that first round. That's what Howard Shadow Knight told me in an interview.
Wow. That's crazy, man. I remember though, Shannon Briggs he had him on the ropes, knocking them all around, and I was like, is he off balance? But I guess that hurt.
All that started, I believe, in the gym. Lennox and Briggs had an argument in the gym. I think Briggs and Lennox squared up in the gym.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I remember reading up about it. It was on teletext already. Lennox and Shannon Briggs, and Shannon was talking about his dreadlocks, and I think he said that Lennox was trying to copy him with his dreadlocks. So it started with that, and they were squaring up to one another, and that's where Lennox came out in the ring the first round as mad. He was fighting mad in that first round instead of boxing to a game plan. And Shannon is the king of the first rounders, as we know. So Yeah.
I know they had a bet that whoever lost was supposed to shave their dreads, but I guess it didn't happen at the time.
Yeah. Vitaly Klitschko beat Danny Ulims and next day flew back to Ukraine for the Orange Revolution under Viktor Volensky. I think is it Volensky or Vyshchenko? So Usyk may have just been driven for the AJ rematch. Hi Ingram, Mike Thomas. Is that a genuine Hi Ingram, or is that an account that's been made as a new account? I'll wait and see. Usyk was ready for whatever in that face-off. Yeah, he was ready for a war. Usyk is dangerous for any guy, and if AJ gets beaten, then it could be the end of the good beginning of a good beginning. Do you think AJ has got an identity crisis? Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. In fact, like, stay humble does not come from AJ. That's not AJ. That is Eddie or 25123 management. That is not. I can't believe that's AJ. So I can't imagine AJ. Can you imagine a man like AJ rolling around the streets saying, "Yo, stay humble"?
So you think it's all like a marketing thing to make him appear?
I think so, because trying to move him away from his past, trying to move him away from that, right, what he was doing in the So I just, it was marketing ploy. It sounded like marketing and media training. Stay humble. Yeah. Stay humble. Yeah. Eat Weetabix because you got big and strong like me. I mean, like sort of Mr. T, Hulk Hogan. And based on what we know of him now, okay, I don't know if Big Mish, I don't know who Big Mish is, but I don't know if Big Mish would go around telling people stay humble. I don't know.
Nah, Big Mish was a gangster, man. Yeah, Big Mish was a G. I can't see stay humble coming out of Big Mish's mouth.
So I'm just that's right. When Dillian White said you're talking rubbish, he goes, "Be yourself. Be yourself, AJ."
Yeah.
He went back, and White was saying it all the way back then. So you think about all that stuff way back then. Then think about it now. Right.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to just be yourself. You ain't gotta remember what you said last time because you were acting. Just be who you are. If people don't like it, they don't like it. Your check doesn't change. Your check's gonna be the same either way. So just be yourself.
Yeah, well, I asked the question. Like, nobody said he didn't need boxing science. He didn't need boxing science. He's just gonna go out there and he's gonna go to war with Usyk. Wow. He's just gonna go out there and go to war with Usyk.
I wouldn't recommend it. You definitely got to have a game plan. You can't just.
But wait, I wouldn't recommend him trying to box Usyk.
No, not at all. It has to be controlled aggression. He has to know when to be aggressive and when not to, or else he's just going to tire himself out.
Joshua Buatsi, don't break character. Joshua Buatsi. There are two men in this world today that should be fighting one another and should not be fighting for world titles. Joshua Buatsi and Anthony Yard. They should be fighting one another. Hell no should Joshua Buatsi be fighting Bivol next. And absolutely hell no should Anthony Yard be fighting Beterbiev next. Absolutely not. Categorically no way. Coach Chris, I don't know where he is.
Coach Chris, where are you at? Where are you at?
Maybe he was going to come flying in there about Fury being banned. Let me throw this at you. In October, Tyson Fury fights Joe Joyce. How does that fight go for you?
Ooh, I think Fury wins it on points. I think he's too elusive Joyce I like Joyce. I think he's a great fighter as far as taking a punch, but I think he's way too slow for Fury. He's real. Joyce is almost like a better F.A. Jagba with a better chin.
Wow.
I like Joyce, but Fury's a bad match for him. Fury's too quick and agile. Joyce has to fight somebody like a more of a stationary target, you know, someone that's not so quick and throwing feints. I think Fury's all wrong for Joyce. He's got to fight like a slugger type.
I think that Wilder's all wrong for Joyce, but I think Fury might be better for Joyce.
Really? See, I think the opposite. I think Joyce would knock out Wilder.
I think Joyce would have like Brazil.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Brazil. You think he would get knocked out like Brazil did? Joyce?
Yeah.
Nah, I think his chin is pretty good though.
Yeah, but his chin is pretty good against Daniel Dubois, and he's not exactly the fastest heavyweight in the world, is he?
But I think Wilder's chin might be kind of damaged goods at this point. So I don't know. I mean, Joyce might be able to rock Wilder with a jab. You know, I don't know about Wilder's chin anymore. Once you get knocked out twice back to back, that kind of messes with your mind.
It does. It does. I think it's great fights anyway. Either way,
Yeah.
AJ needs to bring roadman signs back to the ring, box over back foot, but be aggressive on the offensive. See something now, right? If things are as bad as I think they are, Robert Garcia was around as his trainer since McCracken was fired by AJ way back before he went to America on that tour.
Wow.
Think about that. Hold that thought for a second. And in that time, when AJ said, I'm going to move away from that sweet science, I'm going to do away from sweet science. Robert Garcia is not known for sweet science. Robert Garcia is mainly known for attack, Mexican style, brawling,
Right.
physicality, you know, overall, you have a lot of punches. You look at the guys he's had in his stable. When you think about that, and you think about the way AJ is, he had Robert Garcia all that time. He was talking about not wanting to do all this sweet science boxing. He's done away with it. He wants to just go. He's going to go and go for the knockout. He's going to fight like a roadman this time. All that aggression, and he's been talking about for all that time, is what he's going to try and do now. Because the British public at large, and most people around the world have been saying, AJ, you need to go for the knockout. You need to rough out Usyk. And he's like, yeah, bloody hell, well, I boxed like a bodybuilder. It didn't work out. And it didn't work out. So, like, I might as well go out there and rough it up with him, roadman style. I mean, if you think about the logic of this guy, why would you bring a Bashir in? Because Bashir means boxing science.
Yeah.
Robert Garcia is more of that crash bang wallop.
Right.
And crash bang wallop for a cheaper price. Because he's doing Robert Garcia a favor. Robert Garcia ain't doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah, it makes total. I mean, it's totally logical. Everything you're saying. I mean,
it's logical in AJ's world, not in our world. In AJ's world, it makes sense. Because why would you have? Right.
I was just gonna say he worked with James for 2 weeks recently. I mean, wasn't 2 weeks enough to see that? Oh, it was 1 week. Okay, he worked with him 1 week. Like, still, isn't that enough time to realize that this guy knows what he's talking about? Like, I mean, what did he have to do?
Not if Robert Garcia was already his trainer.
Oh, wow.
So Robert Garcia was his trainer before he was going around and seeing Mayweather and seeing this person and seeing that person. Remember, this is the same Anthony Joshua was asking Anthony Durrell to help him fight Southpaws.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And this was before the Usyk fight.
Before?
Yes.
Not a good look. I don't know, man. Some people can't handle all the pressure that comes with being champion, let alone heavyweight champion. Some people can't deal with it. You know, it's a lot. You got the loose women coming at you. You got the janky promoters.
Now, even like Stavern was telling me that for a guy like Joshua, he doesn't need to be in Miami. It's the worst place in the world for him to be.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, you definitely don't want to go to Miami as a single man heavyweight champion. That's the last place. I mean,
yeah,
wow.
Stavern was saying, you don't want it. He says, it's different. No. I'm Haitian. He says, I'm Haitian. I'm from here. It's different. You now, you don't want to be coming to America. Stay where you are in England.
Last thing you'll be thinking about is training.
So, and he was in Miami, preparing for Reese. Good luck to you on that one.
I was wondering how Daniel Dubois was going to handle it. I heard he was training in Miami, but it looks like he remained focused.
Nah. Dubois is a different kettle of fish, man. I think you could put 100 women in a room. Dubois look at them and laugh at them and go, "They're nice. Can I play with him?" And go, "They're nice. Can I play them after the fight?" No. Dubois too naive like that. I can't see Dubois getting himself a caught. Like afterwards, I can't see him do it before the fight now.
Yeah, Dubois seems like kind of like an innocent child. Like he seems kind of like
he does. But but he's a monster in the ring. But
yeah, I like Dubois, man.
He's cool. Josh, going hard for your boy, LOL. Does it? The title of the show. He's laughing at the title of the show. It's AJ Singh Miami. All I remember is McCracker saying, "Brilliant, AJ, brilliant." Remember it? Do you remember that? Remember that? That was classic AJ.
Rob McCracken.
Brilliant, AJ, brilliant. Brilliant. Keep going, AJ.
Brilliant. Oh my gosh.
He goes, he wears tights to his weigh-in. Oh Lord. It's them headphones I can't get. I mean, if people say I'm hating. If I had AJ, if I can manage AJ, there's 4 things I'd be doing. First of all, when he's in the dressing room, I'd be smashing the wall with a hammer. And I'd be making fighters know that AJ's been punching his wall before the fight. I've done a long time ago. Whack the wall with a hammer, and then afterwards watch AJ punching the wall.
Yeah.
I've been doing stuff like that. Listen, lose the headphones.
Yeah, why do you guys got headphones? I always noticed that. Like every press conference.
He listened to motivational speeches by Tony Robbins. You can beat Alexander Usyk. You can beat Alexander Usyk. You just need to land that right hand. He needs to get rid of them headphones. Get rid of them headphones. Yeah, that's the first thing, right?
Oh,
when my man turns at the press conferences, right? I want to see my man just turn up in a t-shirt and see all that muscles ripped. You understand? There's that sort of intimidation about him, and no press. Now listen, no talking. Just listen, AJ, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Don't say nothing. The only thing you're going to do is you turn to the opponent and say, "You're getting smashed up, bro." Nigel Benn style. You're getting smashed up. That's right. You think you're going to come to it? You think you're going to come to my backyard? Oh, you're getting smashed up. That's it. And then when he sees Usyk, and they square up like that, get out of my way, bro. Move with that camera in my face. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You've got to turn that. You've got to change that whole mannerism perspective. Then I'll get rid of all them hangers on. All them hangers ons will be gone.
Yeah.
And I'll be bringing man like George Foreman in to talk to me
definitely
about being an intimidating heavyweight. I'd be getting Larry Holmes in and teaching him how to use the jab, to learn how to use the jab properly. I would get him teaming up with Lennox Lewis and get Lennox Lewis in that camp. Although Lennox Lewis hasn't had a great heavyweight introduction as a trainer, he got Manuel Shah knocked out. He got David Price knocked out. So it's not great. But in terms of how you set up a heavyweight camp, I would have Bashir in that corner working with him, right? And I would take him away from all the media spotlight. He would be up in mountains, trained like an absolute animal. He would be away from that flippy shit. He'll be out of Sheffield or Loughborough. He'd be out of them shit. He'd be out of there. He'd be out of there. He'd be going up into Big Bear Mountain, right? Up in Big Bear, right? And he'd be locked away. No more selfies. No more selfies. No more of these advertisements. Because if you get beat, the sponsorship goes. Yeah. And you have to give Alexander Usyk no respect whatsoever. From like, bro, take that camera out my face. Move that camera out my face.
Yeah, he's got to learn how to use his size, just not in the ring. He's got to learn how to be a quiet, like, intimidator, like Ivan Drago, like, make people feel your presence, like, you're a big dude, act big.
When you walk in the room, let people know. Don't just have the swag when you're walking into the arena. Huh?
Yeah, right.
Like, if you look at the way he was walking, if you didn't know Anthony Joshua, there was that clip that said they were introducing Anthony Joshua, and the way he was walking, he looked like a man that was about business. Then when he sat down and he was talking, it was like he was president of America or president or prime minister of England.
Yeah.
He didn't sound like he didn't come across like a man that had that hunger and desire about him. All through that, I'd be having when I see Usyk, I said, get out of my face. I'd get out of my face. I would be telling this, I would be doing that to him. I'd walk up to him, push him, bang. You got my belt. I want it back. I'm coming to get my belts back. I'm letting you know I'm coming to get my belts back. This ain't no joke. Forget it. Like what he did against Dominic Brazil.
Yeah.
What he did there against Dominic Brazil, right there, when he turned Dominic Brazil, you turned to Dominic Brazil, you ain't about that life. That Anthony Joshua right there.
AJ, right. Yeah.
There's that AJ. We turned to Dominic. That's the best I've seen of AJ. When
I've watched that several times.
And he goes, you're not about that life. You're not about that life. Eddie, hold my belts, man. Listen, you're not about that life.
He said, don't walk up on me like you're gonna do something.
Walk up like you're gonna do something. Yeah, but he lets Andy Ruiz and he lets Usyk walk up on him.
It's almost like if they're polite to him, he feels he has to return it. Like just because they're polite to you, you don't have to respond, dude. It's like, they're nice. I have to be nice.
You got to. Even Mike Tyson was scared of Lennox. He was scared of Lennox, but he went for Lennox. He went and bit his leg out of fear.
Yeah.
This is what people are saying in the dressing room here. Or just in the dressing room, bloody hell, in the dressing room. That wasn't McCracken, but Joby Clayton. Who's Joby Clayton? Why is he talking? Why is he taking selfies? LOL, sponsorship, bro. That's the reason for the headphones. He needs to lose the headphones. Sponsorship can't fight for him. And sponsors will dismiss him if he gets knocked up by Usyk. Usyk will be wearing them headphones, sitting down waiting for him before the fight. Yeah, he ain't got no goons in his camp. Skins. I agree about him staying away from media. I think it's disgraceful. Anthony Johnston, I remember that one. Larry Holmes, George Foreman, and Lennox Lewis, and James Ellerby in the Joshua camp. That is the Anthony Joshua I want to see against Usyk. Usyk has disarmed him already. There you go. That's it. I mean, there was a press conference today. This is Wednesday, isn't it? Well, there was meant to be a London press conference today, I believe. Was there a London press conference? I haven't seen the London press conference. And if there was, I need to go and watch that London press conference.
I thought they said Eddie Hearn said Wednesday, but maybe he meant next Wednesday, but I thought it was today.
I thought it was today as well. Anyone know if the press conference was today? Because if I see any more of that nonsense, if I see any more that welcome to London and Ukrainians are nice people, and Ukrainians like my boxing style, if I see any more of that stuff,
You'll smash your TV.
And also, I want to know if any of the media are going to ask Robert Garcia, what do you mean by AJ's got mental problems? If anyone opens that can of worms up.
Yeah, I can't possibly think what his logic was in saying that. It's like,
Yeah, but opens what? So I would ask, what's the mental problems that AJ's got?
yeah.
Usyk's in the press conference going, mental problems. I want to hear this.
Work with that.
Usyk is just like, and then once again, he can't speak English. Like, let me hear what he's saying. Okay.
Didn't Robert Garcia also say something about AJ smiling when he gets hit or something?
Yes.
So what did he say?
He said, "Oh no, the pressers next Wednesday is still in Saudi.
Oh,
maybe they're doing deals in Saudi with Usyk." Says here, if AJ loses, it will sum up his championship reign as pretty weak. Press conference is scheduled for the 29th. Well, let's see what happens at the press conference. Let's see if Usyk's energy changes between now. I mean, he's out in Saudi now, so we don't know if the Saudis are talking to Usyk. We don't know what offers have been made to Usyk when he's out there to soften him up. I don't know. Maybe they'll give him say, "Listen, we'll pay you a whole heap of money to Ukraine if you just drop the belts."
Yeah.
As you know,
I don't think he's that kind of guy, though. I don't think he'd do that.
I don't think he's that type of guy either. But yeah. I didn't think Andy Ruiz is going to eat himself out the heavyweight division.
You know, Andy Ruiz said he loves Snickers.
I heard they sent him a whole load of boxes of Snickers to him. He says, "What's the point of having an intense face-off and then having a selfie afterwards?"
Yeah, exactly. That's why it threw me. I was like, they were just looking at each other.
Intense beef. I don't know if it's 100% beef, 50% beef, 25% beef, beef before the pay-per-view. I don't know. Although it's rare, medium rare beef. I don't know, but it's normally, when it comes to Matchroom, it's fake beef. You gotta laugh, ain't you? Fake beef. I mean, you gotta laugh, haven't you?
Yeah.
Beef turned into soup.
What they say?
Beef turned into soup.
I know, didn't it? Yeah, that ended real quick. I was like, you guys just look like you wanted to like punch each other in the mouth. Now you're taking selfies. Wow.
I kind of wonder now if we're going to see AJ and Usyk maybe getting on a flight together back home, take some photographs on the aeroplane together. I don't know. I don't know. But to me, I'm not seeing. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not seeing the signs of a man fully committed to regaining the heavyweight championship of the world. I don't think any post-heavyweight champion that would ever take a selfie back in the day, if selfies were a thing then. I don't think so. I think the mentality is different. Imagine Marvin Hagler taking a photo with Thomas Hearns selfie.
Yeah, that definitely wouldn't have happened. Not at all.
Could you imagine? Marvin Hagler going. Could you imagine Marvin Hagler doing that?
Not at all. If somebody even suggested a selfie, he probably would have walked away.
They wouldn't have got that. They wouldn't have got close to him because the boxing people around him were like, "Hey,
yeah, like beat it.
Get out of here! Get out of here with that nonsense."
Right.
Usyk should go for the headphones and see what AJ does. Do you know what? If I were Usyk, next press conference, you know what I'll do? I'd put when AJ's talking, I'd put the white headphones on and just sit there.
Play more mind games, huh?
Yeah. I'd put the headphones on, just sit there.
Oh man. Yeah.
And then when they go to do the face off this time, if I'm Usyk, I would go.
Yeah,
So
do
AJ, I'll
do
go
exactly what he did.
back to him. I don't think it would go down well. And what Usyk should do is start to wind AJ up
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
So I'll be looking to see if Usyk plays any mind games in the next press conference.
yeah. I think he will. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, but I think he's got something planned.
Yeah, Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank taking selfies. Could you imagine?
Nah, this is a different world nowadays, man.
What about Antonio Tava and Roy Jones taking a selfie?
Oh, wow, no, definitely not.
What about Bernard Hopkins taking a selfie with Felix Trinidad?
Somebody's phone would have got broken.
James Toney taking selfies.
Oh no, James Toney. I don't think he would do that now, let alone back then.
Sonny Liston taking selfies. Sonny Liston turned to a press conference. He turned to a press conference shooting with a gun in his hand, and Ali ran for the trees. Huh? You remember?
Yeah,
bang bang!
yeah,
and Ali went running.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he shoot the gun?
He shot the gun, and Ali went running.
Wow, that was a different breed back then, man.
Yeah, AJ, so much potential, but Usyk is another level. Pavel Bowley is a joker. Because Tyson and Roddick. Tyson doing selfies with Roddick.
I was just watching them the other night how they were going at it at their little media like split screen, and they were going at it.
Yeah. All the kiss on them big lips.
Yeah. And Roddick was like, "You got no class, man."
Wilder taking a selfie with Fury after the second fight, glove game. Never mind the second fight. What about the third fight?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just don't get it. I mean, you guys look like I said, like they wanted to just slap each other. Then next thing they're smiling. All that can wait till after the fight, man.
Yeah, I said this already. Morales Barrera smiling selfies together would have been a crime scene.
Yeah.
How can you sell a pay-per-view? How can you sell a pay-per-view? Is it the pay-per-view? What's the name? Rage on the Red Sea, is it? Is it Rage on the Red Sea?
Right.
How can you sell... Wait. Okay, let me get this. Let me pull this picture up again. I'm just going to end on this note, right? How can you do Rage on the Red Sea, yeah? Rage on the Red Sea, okay? This is Rage on the Red Sea.
Could be selfies on the Red Sea.
This is Rage on the Red Sea. Brought to you by DAZN, Matchroom, and Eddie Hearn.
Eddie Hearn.
Rage on the Red Sea. Can you see Rage on the Red Sea right there? It looks like two buddies are about to, are you gonna come to my wedding? Yeah, mate, I'll be there at the wedding. I'll be there at the wedding. AJ,
Smiles would you take on the Red Sea.
AJ, would you take a picture for my son, please? He's a big fan of yours. Yeah. AJ, look at this video here. This is the last round there where I caught you that combination. Can you see Eddie running along the ropes? Yeah, I can remember that as well. Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah, hands up for that. Yeah, a 100 for that.
Right.
Would Big Mish do this?
No, definitely not. Definitely not, man. I don't get the logic behind it.
Okay, let's move Usyk out of that picture and put Mike Tyson there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So I come back and ask the question that I asked people at the beginning of the show. AJ, have you learnt your lesson? What do you think? Has AJ learnt his lesson, Jay, or is it more of the same? Rinse and repeat.
I thought he had learned his lesson, but after seeing the selfie, apparently not, because he's falling right back into the same mindset he was in before the first fight. So, I mean, it's just not a good look to sit there, with the guy you're about to battle. I mean, this is literally war. You can lose your life in the ring. It's nothing to play with. So I don't get what's funny. I don't get what's to smile about. Like, I'm not smiling before a fight. Ain't nothing funny.
Well, if you're Usyk, you're quietly laughing inside.
Yeah, because he's like, I got him again.
I got Dumbo again. Look at it.
Yeah, it's like a chess match to Usyk. I think he's like, I just got him ready for another checkmate.
Wow.
Whose account is that posted to Usyk's or AJ's Instagram?
I'm not sure. They posted it to my Twitter page, and they said, Ingram, you're gonna love this. And when I saw it, I felt sick.
They put it on your Twitter page?
Yeah, they sent it to my Twitter. Somebody sent the photos to me on Twitter. I'm like, oh no.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, you're like, oh, that's
No, they did it because they knew I kicked up a stink about the first one, so people know how to get to me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make you my girlfriend. Mike was something else. He was.
Yeah.
Only Joshua would take his shoes off before pulling up them used.
Wow.
Oh wow.
They're going hard on my boy AJ today,
AJ,
man.
too kind. Did he tell Usyk he's gonna take him out? I don't know about that. Should have stayed with Bashir. AJ's getting rinsed. That picture is not to read into too much. No, we're not going to read into too much. But it's Rage on the Red Sea, pay-per-view on DAZN.
Right. Yeah, you definitely would make this the fight poster for Rage on the Red Sea. Be like, he'd be like, is this an accident?
Wait, the question is, was this taken before the press conference or after the press conference? If it was
That's
taken
a good
before the press
question.
conference,
Maybe it was before.
It was before the press conference, as terrible, and if it was after the press conference, it's
it's even worse.
I guess some conspiracy theorists will tell me it was before the first fight. Oh, I don't know about that bit.
No, I think it's recent because look at the bucket hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So people say don't read too much into it. Well, the only way I'd say don't read too much into it is if you work for DAZN and you know that Usyk's going to get paid a whole heap of money. That's the only reason why I would say don't read too much into it. And if you're working with Matching with DAZN, Mr. Mike Thomas, then yeah. Imagine a Hollywood film where the villain and the hero were hugging on the poster.
Yeah, you'd be like, what is I don't want to see that.
Usyk looks massive. So,
yeah, Usyk is looking pretty he don't really look too much like the smaller fighter.
No, he doesn't. He looks pretty hench now.
Yeah.
So, final words of you, Jay Roos. Let me get you your solo. Final words of you, bro.
Oh, thanks for having me on. First of all, I enjoy watching your platform. I enjoy listening to all your takes, and keep watching Ingram. Subscribe to him if you haven't already. Subscribe to me, the J Roos Theory, my backup page, and WJ. And keep supporting these fighters out there. We're not like fanboys, so we're gonna tell it like it is. I've got my favorite fighters, but I'm not gonna, just say something I don't think is true. We're gonna always speak truth. And thanks for watching. LSR forever. Be fearless. Yay, yay. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Somewhere in the multi-universe, there's a Mike Tyson version of AJ.
A Mike Tyson version? Wow. Oh, my gosh.
The multiverse.
Wow.
Well, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and now AJ in the multi-universe. There's Professor AJ, isn't it? Somewhere in the multi-universe, right? AJ has actually got Bashir, and he doesn't think Lennox Lewis is a clown, and he actually has got it together. And he actually watches the Robert Garcia video with Garcia laughing at him, saying Wilder would knock him out. He would look at that video and go, wow, I've got this guy as my trainer. Wow, he's getting sacked in the morning.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, what did you mean by this? What had happened was.
Yeah, but the thing is, when he said he didn't need American trainers, he didn't rate American trainers, and now he's going with an American trainer.
Yeah.
You wonder if Garcia's in it for the money. Now he's asking if Garcia's in it for the money. Because really, Garcia gets more exposure. Garcia wins in this situation. He doesn't lose in this situation. Because Garcia, remember this is his first real heavyweight fighter. So if he does well, great. But if he doesn't do well, it's just well, you know, he was AJ and he had mental problems, and you know, Usyk's a better fighter, and really, I'm better with lighter fighters.
Wow.
So Robert Garcia goes back with the lighter fighters, and he's fine. With AJ, his career's in tatters, and that's why I'm not happy with the whole Robert Garcia thing. It might work out well, and I hope it does work out well for AJ's career, but it doesn't look good. Garcia didn't even stop him. So if Angel Fernandez is the head coach and Robert Garcia is just the side man, you've got to wonder who is the head coach.
Right. I just think Coach Bashir could have brought the best out in Anthony Joshua. I just think he knows how to, whatever that's hidden in AJ, I think he could have brought it out. I don't know if Garcia can do that.
I want to know what Garcia does when there's a crisis. I want to know what Garcia does. I want to know what Garcia does if AJ starts to panic in the dressing room before the second fight.
Right. Yeah, he's got to know how to calm him down, adapt, change the game plan.
I want to know what he does when he does heavyweight sparring.
Yeah.
I want to know, and he brings in top sparring.
Yeah,
how that sparring session going to go.
Wow.
I wonder if they'll use Lawrence Okoli in sparring for AJ.
Yeah. Oh, you think they would?
Well, he's a cruiserweight. I don't know. I don't know. You just save on the sparring, don't you? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's definitely going to have to bring in some fast guys.
If I hear that he's been sparring with amateurs, because he's in Loughborough now, if I hear he's been sparring with them amateurs out of the GB squad, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah. Absolutely done with AJ. Guys, thank you so much as always. Jay Rooster, it's been an honor to have you on the show. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for watching. Please do consider becoming a member. And if you become a member, one of the benefits of becoming a member is you get to speak to James Ellerby, and you know, you get to speak to him without any other guests we have on the show in terms of the top trainers or fighters that we'll bring on the show. You will be able to talk to them without any as a member. He says, "Yep, they do all the time. Okoli is always in his camp." It's not good, is it? Gerald Washington helping Usyk. Yeah, height, dimensions. But I don't know if Gerald Washington's the one who can't fight off the back foot. But Washington can fight off the back foot. Gerald Washington's good coming forward, but he's not good off the back foot. You push Washington back, he can't fight. And Joshua can't fight off the back foot. So I understand that. Gerald Washington, Martin Okoli. But yeah. Again, thank you so much, Jay Roos. Appreciate you as always.
Oh, thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
And before I finish, please do check out my new channel. Where on my new channel, you'll get to see all the stuff I'm doing, including the media stuff I'm doing on television. Check this out. That's the new channel. Thank you again, Jay Roos. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Have a good night, man.
I will do. Appreciate you.